Good Sunday afternoon, everyone. If you love excitement, passion, and competition on the basketball court, you are tuned into the right place. The Inaugural three-point open, high-stakes three-point shooting competition has it all. Coming to you live from famous Manheim, Pennsylvania at Spooky Nook Sports Complex. Some of the best distance shooters in the world of basketball go head-to-head for $100,000. That's right. We are not talking about candy bars, everyone, and $100,000. We are talking about Benjamins. The winner of this competition gets $100,000. I am Andrew Callista. Former Syracuse guard Eric Devendorf will be along here shortly, but this is a tremendous event. It has been 2 days, and it started with over 110 shooters in the competition, and through a day of qualifying on Saturday, we are down to the top 64 today, and after a morning session, we are in the Sweet 16. I want to bring in another member of our team, sideline reporter Shanna Muskavich, who will be asking the important question. Shanna, you've been here for both days, so you have seen this action up close in all its intensity.
Oh, absolutely, Andrew. It has been a phenomenal 2 days here at Spooky Nook. I'm going to run through the tournament format, how we got to this point. I'm out on our shooting court. This is where all final matchups will be held. We had over 100 shooters registered, as you mentioned, Andrew. Now, of course, we're down to our Sweet 16, but we had a morning round and an afternoon round yesterday, each shooter getting 25 qualifying shots, top 64 advancing. Started at 10 o'clock this morning. A lot of tense matchups, Andrew. I'm sure you'll run through that. But we've got 5 racks. Each shooter will get 1 minute and 10 seconds to get all of their shots off. There is 1 rack of money balls. Money balls, 2 points each. So it's a max per round total of 34 points. And Andrew, I know we've seen some high numbers today.
We have seen some high numbers today, including from Desi Washington, who scored 33 points in his second round matchup. He comes in as a number 2 seed, and he will be going up against Johnny Dombrowski, one of the favorites, I should say, with a huge Instagram and social media following out of Massachusetts. That is a matchup to look at, and that'll be the final matchup in the Sweet 16. So we're about to get underway here. Dignitary Ty Wortman handling some announcement at center court as the check just walks across. $100,000 is written on it. This is a tremendous event and an exciting one, and we're going to go back to Shanna as she has one of the men behind it all, one of the best point guards in Monty area basketball history, Jordan Wortman.
Ooh, Callista's dropping that Golden Bear knowledge on us. Jordan Wortman, co-founder of 3 Point Open. Tell us a little about these 2 days. How does it feel to have all these shooters culminate here for this final matchup?
It's so exciting. We've been doing so much preparation for this weekend, and to have it come into fruition, we can't be more excited and more happy with how things have gone.
Excellent. Thanks, Jordan. I'll let you get back to it. Andrew?
It is a family affair here today at the 3 Point Open. We just heard from Jordan. His older brother, Ty, is on the microphone right now handling some of the festivities going on at center court. And Mark Wortman, his middle brother as well. This is a great basketball family. No surprise that these 3 brothers are here. The entire Wortman family is here. Sister Rachel as well. This is what they do. It's in their blood. They are basketball players. All Jordan and Mark, by the way, both playing at Bloomsburg University. So it is going to be a fun day. We are set to get underway here in about 2-3 minutes. 2:35 should be our first shooter. The first matchup that we're going to have is Jerion Bukoy against Al Calais, and that is something that, I mean, when you look at the stats, you look at Al Calais, what he's done through 2 rounds, 25 makes in both rounds. Jerion Bukoy, 22 and 24 makes. Bukoy, a little bit of a Cinderella story right now. He's coming off the 8 seed line, pulling the upset over a number 1 seed, Jay Camus, who played, by the way, for Chris Mullen at St. John's University. That's the type of talent that we have here for this event. I mean, there are guys from all over. Mo Creek, yes, from Sideline Cancer, the famed shot from the 2020 TBT, the basketball tournament, shot in the bubble. He is in this. He, by the way, put up 30 makes in his last round. So there is talent all over the place. And when I say all over the place, I also mean all over the age range. There has been an entry from 14 years old, a sophomore in high school, who made it into the top 110 shooters. You heard Ty Wortman right there on the microphone saying shooters 2 minutes until we get underway in this first matchup of the Sweet 16. And the way this is going to go is it's not going to be like we see at the NBA All-Star game with two shooters going head-to-head on each side of the court. We have locked it down. We are going on what the shooters prefer, that end of the court. And so we will go one at a time. And as we heard from Shanna explain, 5 basketballs per rack. The ball furthest on the back of the rack from the basket counts as 2. That is a money ball. And also the shooters can designate one rack, whichever rack they want of the 5 positions, whether it's either the corners, either of the wings, or at the top of the key. That could be filled with all money balls for a max total point of 34. And as I said, we did have someone hit 33, just one miss. That was in the first round, or I should say the round of 64. It's going to be exciting. First up, we have Al Calais. He is going to be our first shooter in this round, and it looks like he's chosen, as you look at it, it's going to be your near side on the camera, far side from the table. He's at 1 minute till he has to shoot, and he's actually switching side, going to the far side, the top of your camera shot, near side to the table as I look at it. Al, by the way, played at Bishop O'Hara High School, just under 2,000 points in his career, 1,986. He was first and second team All-State during high school and has a league and District 2 titles in the PIAA. By the way, some TV knowledge for you. I should say TV sitcom knowledge. Bishop O'Hara, by the way. Toby on The Office is an alum of that school. Here we go. Al Calais is about to get going. Want to get off to a fast start here, especially in an important round. Second stroke is good, and he seems to have found it. 2, 3, money ball up. Money ball, nothing but net. He is on fire right there. Should be 5 on the first rack. Al's really found the groove, setting the tone, and it's all about strategy. This is putting a lot of pressure on his opponent as he is flush. Just one miss so far through 2 racks. Go to the top of the key. This is Al's money ball rack. Just one miss on that money ball rack. That is positive. That is for 8 points right there, and Al has got his stroke. This is a kind of stroke that you want throughout this entire tournament. He is money. This is going to be a big number, folks. Money ball from the wing, up and good. Heading to that final rack. Look at that sweet lefty stroke right there. He is a free throw champion out of Atlantic City, the Borgata Casino free throw champ in 2015. And he's an International Shooting Federation champ at Saratoga Springs in 2016. And he's won some tournaments out in Las Vegas. There's a lot of things that Al Calais has done in his shooting career. Gets a little high five there from Jordan going over to the table. That is a big, big number right there. And, of course, after a number like that, he's got to talk to us. Shanna, you got him down there. 28 we have him at right here. That's a big number.
Thanks, Andrew. Al, you've been so consistent really the last 2 days. You've got a couple of notable shooting competition wins under your belt. How are you feeling after that?
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, it's something I never done, shooting off the rack, so I've been slow on time. I'm still trying to get it down as I shoot, but obviously this being my 5th time, I feel a lot more comfortable, and the more you do it, the more comfortable you get, and so hopefully I like my chances at 28. I just wish I could have got that last one off.
And where are you coming from? What made you sign up for the 3-Point Open?
I'm coming from Archibald, Pennsylvania, the nearest city, Scranton, PA. And once I saw this, I mean, I'm 44, but I'm still as competitive as ever, and something I could still do besides running up and down the court. So I just want to take advantage of it and see what I can do.
Hey, we got to take those wins where we can get them as we get older, Al. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Andrew?
Thank you, Shanna. You heard Al there say he's 44 years old from up in the Scranton area. I got to tell you, look at his resume. International Shooting Federation 3-point champ, Saratoga Springs 2017, and National Basketball Shooters Association 3-point and hot shot champ out in Las Vegas, also 2016. I got to tell you, it's 2023. Al shows no signs of slowing down, and that is something that we're going to talk about as this day goes on, just the timing and how different it is. I mean, this is different than just having the ball machine throw shots at you or having somebody pass out shots. I mean, grabbing off the rack, it's an entirely different dynamic. Set your feet, get it into the flow, and keep your shot formed to do throughout a whole 70 seconds. And also, that stuff all takes time. You saw Al left one ball there on the rack. That could be big because he gets that. He's at 30. 30 is a big number, but so far his best score of the day as he racks in 3 more than his previous high at 28. So that score is now official. Al Calais with 28 points. That is a big number. Jerion Bukoy has to match that, and he is going to be up against it to do that. I mean, that's a lot of pressure as Calais goes out there with the first opportunity. The higher seed in the bracket will have their choice to shoot first or second. Tell you a little bit about Jerion Bukoy. He's 30 years old. He's out of Jersey City, New Jersey, Snyder High School. But here's the fact. He didn't play high school basketball, and he did not play college basketball as well. Saw this tournament advertised on Instagram. He's a regular dude, works 9 to 5, and works for Chanel as an inventory supervisor. He just loves the ball. That's what he told me before this, and he said, hey, why not take a shot? Well, he's going to have an opportunity to take 25 shots right here, and hopefully for him he wants the magic number of 34. We've not had that yet. He's about to get going, starting on the far side on the top of your screen, near side right now. Looks to be a little strong at the start, finding his range. Money ball on the first rack is down and good. 50 seconds left for Jerion as he gets towards the end of the second rack. On his money ball rack right now at the top of key. That's a strategy we see employed a lot. A couple misses off the start, not good. Needs to find it quickly here. $15 seconds, plenty of time to get to the final rack. Needs to be perfect here. Don't know if it'll be enough. Final rack up and good. Bukoy, Cinderella story is going to come to an end as he falls 28 to 14 in a Sweet 16, but a heck of a run for the Jersey City native. He is standing by, getting ready to go with Shanna as soon as we have him ready to go. What a run for him, though. Bukoy, 22 makes in his round of 64. Then he has 24 to pull off an upset over the number 1 seed in the entire tournament. So 28 to 14. AJ Calais is moving on. One of the things that we have to do, we got rebounders. They got to recycle all these balls. These balls are being wiped down, making sure there's no moisture on these balls for the shooters and things like that. Because you want these to be as clean and as pure as possible. Our next matchup is going to be Ryan Daly, who's coming off the 10 seed line. And Anthony Miracola, who's on the 3 seed. Daly with 21 makes in his last round, 27 in his previous round. So right now we're going to send it down to Shanna, who's standing by with Jerion Bukoy. Shanna.
Overall, how are you feeling about your performance the past 2 days?
Not too bad. I had the jitters. I could say a lot of eyes watching me. Obviously, like you said, I haven't been playing like any professional or college or high school basketball. So I'm just glad to be here around like the top shooters in the Tri-State Nation, or even like California. I heard somebody came all the way down from Oakland. So I'm just blessed to have the opportunity to try to shoot it out.
Your stories are something that makes today's interesting, so we appreciate it. You did a great job. Congrats, Jerion.
Shannon, you're absolutely right. That story of just being, like you said to me, a regular 9-to-5 guy coming out here to shoot his shot. You heard there's guys here from California. He's in from Jersey City. I mean, it's not the easiest thing to get here over a July 4th weekend, especially with the travel problems all around the country. But, I mean, hey, that's a guy came out here, got into the top 64 from over 100 shooters, and then not only gets into the top 64, but knocks off a guy like Jay Camus, who played for Chris Mullen at St. John's University and has hit over 100 threes in a row 7 times in his lifetime, 7 documented times, and has, by the way, an Instagram following that is close to 80,000 at Improve Your J. That's who Jerion Bukoy actually knocked off. Just a regular guy. Hey, you could be an all-pro, you could be a weekend warrior, you could be anything. If you could shoot the rock, you could win $100,000 in the 3-point open. This is just the inaugural year. It's only going to get bigger and better from here. Second Sweet 16 matchup is going to be Anthony Miracola going up against Ryan Daly. Miracola is going to be up first, choosing as the higher seed to shoot first. Looks like he's going to start far side from the table, looking straight down. You see him over that corner rack of basketball. He's from Michigan, loves the sport, and he says, hey, man, I could shoot. Why not come into this? Actually only started prepping for 3 weeks, played high school at Whiteford in Michigan, and he practices with his son, who's 3 years old. So that is a great story. Anthony Miracola, here he goes. First shot up. A little short on that one. Could be nerves. Has found that range here. Right-handed off the shoulder form. He's found the range. Money ball is up and good. Anthony finding that stroke. I mean, you're not seeing much contact with any of the iron for our guys here. Top of the key. Again, that is the money ball rack. This will be for 4 out of 5 on the money ball. Solid 8 points from the top position. Heads over 24 seconds left to get through 2 racks. He's running a little bit behind. Running behind, but he's making shots. That's what this is about. Buckets right there. 23 heading to the final rack. He's got 9 seconds to do it. 2 more, he's going to do it. Final shot, money ball is up. This is a big number, folks. 26 for Anthony Miracola, the 38-year-old out of Michigan. That is a solid round, and he is standing by with Shanna. Shanna, big number, 26 points right there.
Big number, Anthony. You've been consistent. You were 3 seed coming into this morning's round. How are you feeling after that performance?
Decent. I'm not even sure. Does anybody know exactly what I had? When you say, okay, that's what I thought I had. Good. Wish I'd hit the last shot. I would have been a little more, I feel good. I mean, I can shoot better, but...
Overall, you have to be happy with your success so far.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thanks, Anthony.
He's a man of very few words. He came here just to shoot the rock. That's what he's there for. Is why not? I'm going to take a drive to Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, and see if I can bring home $100,000. Well, into the Sweet 16, and he's in good shape. He's put some pressure on Ryan Daly to be able to come up with some big shots. But if there's a man that could possibly doesn't feel that pressure, it is Ryan Daly. He's from Philadelphia, Delco County, actually. Want to make sure I get that in. Delco County folks are very proud. I know they're always hitting me up on Twitter if I slight their teams. St. Joe University, Delaware before that. Just getting out of the NBA Summer League. Played with the Bulls a little bit. He spent last season with the Pistons, Celtics, and Clippers in the D League. And he led the A-10 and Big 5 in scoring his years at St. Joe's. All-League A-10 2 years in a row in 2016 to 2021. Those years that he was at from Delaware to St. Joe's. It seems that I like looking at all these different strategies of what guys have and what rack they actually start on the corner. Some guys like to work right to left. Others like to work left to right. It's been an exciting 2 days. A lot of, I should say, exciting and nerve-wracking 2 days to actually go through this competition because, again, a lot of money on the line. It was not free to get in. Here's Ryan Daly set to go. It's a great start. Anytime you could hit the first basket after standing cold there for a couple minutes is always good. Daly is 4 for 4 to start. Misses the money ball right there. I say when you saw his points and his bio that I gave you right there, you knew he could come out and shoot, and he seems to be doing good. His brother, by the way, came in as a number 1 seed, got upset in the second round. Has 9 so far through it. And folks, after this, we're gonna have a treat for you, as you're not gonna have to listen to me solo filibuster this broadcast as we bring on an expert and one of the more famous people that we have in this entire tournament. Daly 15-16 now, 17 rims out. 15 seconds left with 1 rack remaining. Plenty of time for him to get through. He's at 20. Needs to hit 26 to force a tie. 22, 3, 24. Needs to knock it down. Little bobble right there. Knocks it down. It seems we're going to an extra session, and we run this back. That is a clutch shot. And I'm going to bring in one of my other co-hosts for today, Jeremy Hayes, founder and CEO of Fadeaway Fitness. And Jeremy, you were in this competition.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Great competition. A lot of really, really good shooters. High-level players to just your average Joes that can make shots.
Now you're one of the top and fastest-growing basketball trainers in the world. Just going off the last thing that happened with Ryan, he bobbled the last shot that he had to make it, and he was able to knock it down. How tough is that?
Crazy. So time's winding down. He's got 1 second left. Little bobble, gets it off right before time expires, and it went in.
That's clutch performance, and we're going to send it down to Shanna, who's standing by with Ryan Daly about knocking down that shot to force an extra round.
Ryan, a late entry into the competition, but you're certainly making your mark felt. How did that last money ball going in feel?
Felt great. I didn't even know I was gonna. I thought I already lost it, and then I got hot, and I forced overtime. That's all you can ask. You got to battle a little bit.
He's locked in right now. He is not taking any time to deal with us media types right now, Shanna. He just wants to get out there, and he just wants to shoot the basketball. And I will point out, by the way, the basketball that is being used right now is the Wilson Evolution. That's important. I happen to be a fan of the Wilson Jet, but that's gone out of production. That's an old school basketball, the Jet Evolution, but they're all similar. There's no mix in there, no Badens, no nothing. Wilson Evolution. How important, Jeremy, is that feel for a shooter just to know that this is the type of ball that I'm going to be shooting with, that just have that feeling on their palm?
Right. I think it's huge. So George Wharton, the CEO here at the 3 Point Open, made it very clear at the beginning we're going to use a Wilson Evolution. So I think people can get a feel of what it feels like, what you're actually going to shoot with during the competition, versus like, hey, you have no idea, just show up and just grab a ball. And I know people like, you have to get a specific feel. It might be too slippery, too grippy, just something. Everybody's a little bit different. How
long, just say you're a regular guy, or maybe you just love playing outside and stuff like that as a shooter, that you're playing with an outdoor basketball and kind of that rough surface. How long, if you came here and didn't have the time to practice with an Evolution, how long does it take a shooter like yourself to adapt to that feel of that softer grain leather type?
Well, it's different. Like I said, you're used to what you're used to. So if you're shooting outside, you're used to an outside basketball. And once you bring it inside and start to get the feel for it, after a while, yeah, it start to get it down, but it's going to take you a couple weeks, couple months till you can really get the feel for it and really just start honing in what these guys are really doing.
So that's actually one of the important parts, and the thing about a good job from Jordan doing that, letting everybody know this is going to be the ball, so they have that time to be able to get out there and shoot. Pressure here goes Anthony. We're running it back, so it's basically like the last round never happened, because it is not a combination score. It's just the best score in this second round. Now, nice roll right there, up and down. Good start for Anthony, much better than round number one, or first time around, I should say, in his Sweet 16 bracket.
He kind of has a little bit of a different release. Kind of gets it off of his shoulder, but once he kind of tees it up, everything just kind of stays in that one straight line, and makes it a little bit easier to release for him.
Kind of has a little bit of a lefty type shot coming from a righty, which we don't really see that often.
Right. They get hot here, and he can really post a good score now.
Of course, Miracola and Ryan Daly both scoring 26. The first time we ran this through, and it's not a one-rack shootout. We run this back the entire way, so another opportunity to score 34.
Right, and I think that's huge because it's like as soon as the round's over, okay, let's figure out, let's get a winner. Like I said, there ain't no ties. Run it right back and figure out who's actually better.
Not who scored it quicker or anything like that. Right. You know, parameters are parameters. All that matters is that final number.
Final shot. So what did he finish at 25 and didn't get that last one off?
Did not get that last one off, and that's one of the things. I mean, ever since we're little kids, right? We're preached by our parents: time management, time management, time management. That's one of the things that we have to be, and it does take time. You know, if you're not used to shooting off a rack, to be smooth and to get through all those shots.
And I think this is a little bit different, more so than like an NBA three-point shooting competition, because it's like you get 60 seconds, and it's a faster pace, up tempo. But then once you get into this, you get 10 extra seconds. Do you pace yourself a little bit more? Do you rush yourself? Like, I think the biggest thing, you got to make sure you get every shot in, but like you don't want to rush your shots. So like you said, you got to find that happy medium pace.
Being that you were competing in this earlier, and you know a lot of the guys out there today, are they feeling the pressure of the 100,000 like right now, or is that something it's like, yeah, I'm just out there trying to get it done and move on?
Yeah.
Or are you starting to feel that now in the Sweet 16?
Well, I feel like once you start the competition, you got 100 plus guys, and then it turns into 64. Okay, we go to 32. Now we're on one basket. Everybody's watching, more of a crowd. There's cameras. I think you start to say the pressure builds. Now there's a big check stand looking right at you too. Like, I think that really starts to build for the pressure and the suspense for the event here.
Check's bigger than me over there.
For sure.
Also has a bigger number than I'm used to seeing on my checks as well.
Right.
That's absolutely thing. So you played at Juniata College.
Yes.
Not many people know where Juniata College is, but it's in beautiful Huntington, Pennsylvania. Yep. 10,000 steps, I think, is the hiking trail right there. So is that where you learned your form, you know, or the leg strength for your form constantly on the steps?
Crazy. So I'm from Wheeling, West Virginia. I ended up choosing to go to Juniata College out of the other schools that I had offers and interest from, and I really enjoyed Juniata. It was a great community. The experience was great. Also, I felt like I was more of like a bigger fish in a smaller pond, but I was blessed with a lot of really good teammates that made me probably look better than I actually was.
Yeah, Juniata's a fun school. Know it well, right next to Huntington High School out there as Ryan Daly gets set to go. Daly, to move on, has to get at least 25 to force another tiebreaker, and he's off to a good start.
Get hot early and just kind of ride that momentum to the end.
He was hot. He was hot to start the first rack last round.
Right.
Money balls are always good. They're worth
For
two,
sure.
and he nails it on the first rack.
You have to. I feel like you have to make all your money balls. That's an easy 18 points, and then just kind of build off of your other shots. And if you can make the money balls, you really have a chance to win.
How important is that first ball?
Oh, I think the first rack is huge because it's honestly going to not make or break your round, but I feel like if you can get off to a good start, you can really build that momentum and post a really good score.
Money rack seems to go pretty well for Daly at the top. Every ball on that rack worth 2.
He's got plenty of time still. See his pace. He's getting a really solid stroke with his jump shot, but then he just gets to his other rack, grabs his ball, and he's finishing his follow through, I think, is the biggest thing. So he's got 4 balls remaining with 15 seconds left.
That one, if it would have went in, folks, wouldn't have counted. We got an obstruction up there, so it hit the basket support.
Needs it.
Heartbreaking finish right there. Money ball would have got it. I think it's actually going to be a tie, though, at 25-25.
So I think we're going to run it back
doing
again.
Running it back again. Now he's going to go into another round of emotions right there. Last time he hit one from comeback. There he had 2 shots to actually win it. Comes back, so he has to gather himself, and we're going to have to do this all over again. And then you have Anthony Miracola, who's just like chilling. I saw he's standing way down, folks, about 100 feet beyond the court, thinking, you know what, I'm probably going home after I just put up 25. But no, we're doing it again. So it's a fadeaway fitness.
Yeah.
How many times are you practicing this that you're actually going to go through to shoot 30 balls? Now you're 60. Now in a span of 10 minutes, you're shooting 93-point shots.
Right. It's pretty crazy. So like even just my own thing, like I'm trying to do all my workouts every single day, but then also if I'm trying to train and prep for this, like I either got to find time super early in the morning or after all my training sessions just to get reps in. But like you can get on a shooting machine, you can get hundreds of reps up, but like it's a completely different feel off of a shooting machine versus off of a rack. And then going to get your own rebound. And there's a lot of prep that goes into it. And like you said earlier, there's a lot of pressure. A lot of people are starting to roll in here now and get the eyes on people, and the emotions are starting to really take over. And you can see who's going to fold and who's going to thrive under pressure here.
Earlier today, everybody was kind of concentrating on kind of their own stuff. They were off to the back courts and the far warm-up courts in the hole on deck, things like that. Now you see all the competitors, even the ones that have been eliminated, they're here just hanging around, seeing what's going on, how's it going down, and things like that. So,
yeah, I really like the feel for it because now it turns on to, instead of all 4 baskets, everything's spaced out, spread out a little bit. We bring in some other bleachers. Everybody's crowded around one hoop, and that actually just adds to the drama, adds to the suspense as well.
Very cool, very cool. I just think, your Anthony, it's his 3rd time he's out there just chilling. Just a regular guy, too. You look at some of these, you can see, some of these guys are athletes. You got guys like Anthony, Jerry Bukoy, Mike McGuire, who we're going to see later, a 24-year-old from Garden City, New York. I mean, they're just out there thinking, you know what, I'm just here to have kind of a good time and, test my skills.
Yeah, and I think that's what's really cool about these types of events, because it's like, if you want to try to go and compete in a dunk contest, if you can't dunk, you're definitely not going to win or even compete. But like your average Joe that I'm going to go to the YMCA and just get up a couple of shots, but I can make shots, I have a chance to win $100,000.
This is the true underdog story, not
right.
dodgeball.
Right,
this
right.
is the true underdog story.
For sure.
Some people have bold strategies. I'm not sure if Cotton's going to see those pay off or not, but that is what is going to happen here today. So,
right.
I love the logo too.
Yeah.
I do love the logo right there. All the competitors wearing the jersey. 3rd time around. This is only our 2nd matchup in the Sweet 16. Anthony Miracola from Michigan. 3rd time, 2nd tiebreaker here.
Get off to a good start, and we can make a good round again here.
And you notice he has the slow rotation,
right.
Not that intense, tight backspin.
Right. They said it almost just tees it up like he's a golfer and can keep his elbow locked in and finish his follow through completely.
It's like Ernie Els on the golf course.
Right.
Just big easy right here.
Off to a really good start here. Has a nice pace. Good.
12 points through 2 racks going into his money ball.
Keep this rhythm up. He could post a really, really tough score here. So far, so perfect.
30 seconds left.
Needed it.
That's his first miss right there.
You see,
20
seconds. It's the same rotation, same release every single time, and I think that's what makes the shooters that are really, really good separate themselves. He's got to get moving if he wants to get these off.
Yep. Seems like he's being more deliberate here, trying to make ones that he has instead of rushing to get through. But he's going to get through pretty much all of them. He's got 2 seconds here.
Get it up. I don't know if that one's going to count.
I don't think that would have counted.
Right.
I'll put my officiating stripes on for that. But 29 right there.
Yep.
That is a solid number. You see Ryan Daly give him a high five right there.
Right.
And that's the one thing we've seen over the course of 2 days, a lot of competitiveness, but not a lot of animosity between anything. There's, frustration maybe when somebody walks away, but nothing actually towards any of the shooters.
100%. Like I said, I think there's a really good amount of sportsmanship here. So we're all here for one mission, but like I said, we're all going to cheer and support each other on.
$29, when that's your number and you're shooting first in a second tiebreaker in a 16-person bracket for $100,000, that's added some pressure, especially when you went 26 and 25 the first 2 times.
Right. I know it's tough because it's like, do you want to go first? Do you want to go second? Do I let the other person shoot and then I can just go beat them? Do I set a good score? And then I feel like it's added pressure. Should I go first? Should I go second? And I think that's tough. So now for Andrew, who put up a phenomenal score, now that's mental for Ryan, who's going to try to step up and try to beat this 29 now.
What do you like doing?
I'd rather go first and honestly try to set the score.
Gotcha. We got Ryan Daly has 2 minutes. Has 2 minutes to get going here. And what's he thinking right now? I just put up 26 and I had to do it in a comeback. I put up 25 and he had a chance to win it right now. Now he's in the third. Now he's in a second tiebreaker here, and he has to put up 29, and he hasn't put up 29 yet.
Right. I think that's added pressure. Said he's had a very good college career, very successful. He can put up points, but now it's with money on the line, with pressure on the line, with cameras on. It's way different. But like I said, I believe him. I think he can get off to a good start, and I think he can really put up a good score here.
Yeah, definitely the good start, at least for confidence right there. He did put up 28 in his round of 64, where he won. Came in as a 10 seed. Not that the seed line kind of matters, because I got to imagine that when you have 110 shooters and you're a good shooter, you're not expending all your energy on day number 1.
Right. Get off to a good start here. Really nice release. Gotta get hot, though.
One thing that benefits him, he's been able to get through the rack every single time.
Said he has a good pace. Once he releases the shot, he just gets right in the next one, but also from rack to rack, too. He doesn't take his time. He gets there, gets set, grabs the ball, and gets into it.
A little bit short. That could be a little bit of leg fatigue right there, going the third time in such a quick succession.
Same as Andrew. He's got a similar release. And they said the ball, he snaps that backspin. He has a really, really tight spin on the ball. Get hot, though.
A little bit of frustration there on the money ball rack.
Right. Finish it out strong.
Still in it.
Yep.
It's at 22 right now, heading to the final rack.
Finished out strong here.
It's going to count, but it's not going to be enough.
Right.
Couple balls on that final rack right there.
That's tough to go 3 times against the same guy to try to beat him.
Competitors going, and right there you have Anthony Miracola from Michigan, who practices with his son Anthony of 3 years, never done anything like this.
Right.
With Ryan Daly, who is one of the all-time great scorers in the Atlantic 10 and the Big 5 down in Philly. Shanna is standing by with Anthony Miracola, who survives 2 tiebreakers to win with a total score through 3 rounds of 80. That's pretty impressive, Shanna.
Anthony, what an upset. Ryan spent time overseas. He's played in some G League as well. And I know you shoot with your 3-point son, or with your son. What would you think he would be saying to Dad right now?
My son would be happy for me. That was a hell of a tough out. I mean, I don't know how that guy was a 7 seed. He must have just had a rough shooting day, as my guess, because he was a really good shooter. He put a lot of pressure on me. I was lucky to survive that. I mean, it was crazy.
How are you feeling going into the Elite Eight?
I feel good. I mean, I think at this point, I think even, before this, it's everybody's, really good shooters at this point. And I think it's just, you got to go out there and try to shoot your best and hope for the best. That's all you can do at this point.
That's great. Thanks, Anthony. Good luck.
By my math, the final total in that round, 80-78. 2 tiebreakers as we run it back the entire time. That is pretty impressive, especially for a guy from Michigan. And Shanna, we talked to the winner, Anthony Miracola. You got to give it up to Ryan Daly, and you got him right now.
Ryan, making Delco proud. You've got your phone, most importantly. I know that we were a little dicey this morning. How are you feeling after that? 2 run-it-backs.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling great. He's a good shooter. Obviously, he's got all those, world records shooting threes. I just came out here, tried to shoot because I love basketball. I'm feeling all right. I'm salty I lost. I should have won I messed up in the second game, but it's all right. It was a lot of fun.
Hey, you hit the money ball to make it interesting. For TV, that's what we're asking for, right? Andrew?
That money ball in that first round, Jeremy, when he, bobbled it, and with time winding down to hit that, that's a pressure shot right there.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, that really shows his true competitor. He developed under pressure, hit the shot big time, moved it into the second, the tiebreaker series, and he had a chance to win in the second one, and ended up just coming up just short.
Just short, and that's a true competitor right there, playing in the NBA D-League last year, just leaving Bulls Summer League and coming here to shoot. So definitely the love of passion. No surprise there coming out of Philadelphia.
Right.
Now here's a guy that we have coming up. Greg Sircone, he's number one seed. He's a shooting coach in Pittsburgh.
Yep, 100%. So I'm kind of biased about this one. So these are both my two homies. So Greg's from Pittsburgh. I have actually worked and trained with Greg over the last, 5 years. And he's a shooting instructor. He works with a lot of high-level high school kids, high-level college kids, high-level pros. But he's also taken on one of my really good friends, Bjorn Borman, who played at Winthrop and had a phenomenal high school career, phenomenal college career at Winthrop, and now has his own training company.
Gotcha. We're going to have a little mental restart here,
Yep.
a little miscommunications. I heard somebody say 1 before we were actually ready to go.
Here we go. Get off to a good start, finish your follow through.
Notice your hand could be as close to the ball as possible, but not on the ball to start.
Yep. See, that's the thing I've noticed with Greg for the last probably 5 years since I've known him. Has the same shot, same release, same flick every single time. And I think for all great shooters, it has to be very, very repetitive.
His form's very compact, not
Yeah.
surprised coming from a shooting coach.
Right. I believe he played at King's College years ago, and he's set numerous three-point records there.
Wilkes-Barre proud. King's College,
Right.
straight up 81
Right.
from where we are located here today.
He's got 9 here at the top of the key. Get hot here and then right into your money ball rack. Got to get moving, though. Time is going to be an issue.
He's got 25 seconds to clear 2 racks, including the money ball on wing. That's something we don't
Right.
see a lot, money ball on a wing.
For sure, it's different. Most of the people were money ball at the top of the key, straight on. He's got 17, 19, maybe 21 moving into the final round. But like I said, once again, time. You got 10 seconds to get these 5 shots off.
8 out of 10 on the money ball rack. Kind of found the form.
Get rolling. Get hot here. Get it off. Got to get it off. Damn.
I'd count that one, but don't worry about the buzzer there.
Right.
21, he's probably not going to be happy with that considering he shot around a 30 on Saturday.
Right.
And by the way, folks, if you want to take lessons from him, we live in a digital world, kind of like you yourself know that, but at GCone43 Pure and Instagram Pure Shooter, and he is standing by right now with our Shanna.
Thanks, Andrew. Greg, 1 seed coming into today. How are you feeling about that?
Could shoot better.
Any additional pressure as the 1 seed in the Sweet 16?
No pressure, but a lot of variables go into. We'll see what Roman does. Not easy.
No, not easy at all. Thanks, Greg.
It's not easy, and as a shooting coach, and as Jeremy says, he coaches at Lincoln Park High School out in Pittsburgh, and that is a very proud program, so he's used to dealing with a lot of the pressure that goes on, and he's got a tough opponent, and it could be like sometimes your opponent.
Right.
He knows who's he going up against. He's going up against Bjorn Broman, who's from Duluth, Minnesota, and has scored 74 points in a high school game back in the day?
Yeah, him and his brother, they went to the same high school, and they put up crazy numbers. I believe he averaged 49 points a game in high school before going to Winthrop, and I believe he started all 4 years, averaged like 13 points a game, and had a really successful Division I career.
Yeah, now his brother Anders, he wanted to make sure that they run the Broman Academy together, but his brother Anders has scored 71 points in a high school game
twice, I believe.
But Bjorn has the higher
He's
score.
got the higher one.
Not total, just the singles game high score.
I think little brother took the cape on that one. But they're based out, I believe, around the Charlotte area, and run the Broman Academy together, and very, very successful. I know they've worked with several, even just Hornets players, pro players, and I'm really excited to watch them shoot. So the two of us, we really started to click it just on social media to promote the event. And I think that was really, really big, not just for the event, but also just for our relationship. So two like basketball trainer influencers, we got to connect together and kind of help run this thing. And then now we get to meet up in person and shoot content together and really just develop a nice relationship over the social media world.
Now, what is Bjorn doing right now? I'm assuming he's making sure that the balls are all lined up to the way he likes, no twisted grooves or anything like that.
Yeah, so I think that's honestly one of the biggest things I think shooters could do in this event. Go to every rack, touch every ball first off, but also to line them up. So all you got to do is grab, set, shoot, versus like grab it, spin it, turn it, get your everything set. So I feel like more shooters should do that and take advantage of that.
Absolutely.
Shooter, ready!
So Bjorn's about to go. Probably 480,000 followers on his Twitter is probably watching right now as well.
Get off to a strong start here, B. Good. Very good.
Perfect rack to
first
start.
rack. Yep. Get hot again here. Get hot in these money balls. Got 9 right now at the top of the key. Got to get moving. Very good. Nice shot.
30 seconds left. Two racks left. That seems to be where you want to come in, about 26 to like 31 seconds.
Yeah, I would say once you get to your final 2 racks, if you got a good pace, you should have anywhere between, like I said, 28 seconds left. That way you know you got time. You don't have to rush. He's got a couple shots here. He's 21. I think he hits one more. He ends up knocking out Greg, and I think he just did it right there. Finishes out strong, though. Last 2 shots, get it off. And time, 23.
Those last couple shots are just for feel. Probably knew he had it because he's keeping track. You see his excitement taking place with all the rebounder kids and everything like that. I mean, for a guy
one thing that I think Bjorn does great, he just kind of lives in the moment. Gets in the moment here, and he enjoys doing what he does. And like I said, it has fun, gets the kids involved, and gets them excited about what's going on too.
Doesn't seem to look like he's feeling any pressure. Maybe this might be the hardest thing that he has to do is talk to Shanna about what a good round, and he's moving on to the final 8.
Well, Andrew, I was just talking to Bjorn. You've got quite a social media presence, but this is nerve-wracking, you said?
It is nerve-wracking. I mean, I don't know. I played Division I basketball. I've played in different events, but I love this 3-point open. I mean, Jordan did such a good job putting it on. There definitely are some nerves. So,
folks, you heard it here first. The 3-point open, more nerve-wracking than March Madness.
It is.
I'm not sure if I necessarily believe that he's nervous right now. This might be nervous, but he looks cool as a cucumber out there, shooting his jump shots and also interacting with everybody putting this event on.
Right, yeah, he did a phenomenal job this round, and like I said, hopefully he can build off that momentum and propel him into the Elite 8 then, and then push him towards the final goal of the 100K.
Going into the Elite 8, the final 16 matchup on this side of the bracket, Bellman Purisic and Jay Jamison. Jay Jamison coming at us from North Penn High School down in the Philadelphia area. And I believe it's going to be Bellman Purisic on the 3 seed. He was a tough one to track down for me, folks. Right. We had trouble finding him around on the court. He's holed up somewhere practicing shooting all day.
Right, so even Jay here, he's very different how he kind of approaches his shots. He lines everything up, gets his footwork right, has a super, super wide base, kind of tees it up like we said earlier about a golfer, and then just lets that thing fly. And I believe he has posted his training regimens for this event on YouTube, and I believe he has 18 perfect rounds. So just training for this event made it all 25 shots 18 different times, which is pretty impressive.
Very impressive indeed, and he probably has the most unique shot that's here. He doesn't get off the floor at all.
Right.
And how does that actually benefit? Because I think it's kind of obvious. Jay's in a little bit different age group than most of the shooters here, not expelling as much energy.
Right, and I think that's big because even now we'll go back to earlier at like Eric Devendorf when he was shooting. He is more of a jump shooter, so he jumps and it's 8-9 inches off the ground versus Jay may get maybe a piece of paper underneath his feet, and so he can really drive from his legs, but at the same time he doesn't have that muscle fatigue in his legs and can kind of use his whole lower body to get into his shot better.
Gotcha. I love that he's shooting with the backwards hat on, and he went up against Eric Devendorf and actually beat him. And I was sitting down on Eric Devendorf's side, and I'm like, who's the guy shooting in the backwards hat? It's a complete style thing. It's all about feeling comfortable, and obviously he's feeling it right now.
100%. And I think this is a great story. Like I said earlier, we got pros here, we got shooting instructors, we got high school kids that were still playing, basketball trainers, influencers, and like I said, an average Joe type of deal that anybody can have a chance to win. So like I said, if Jay's a little bit older than I would say the median age here, he's got a very, very strong chance because of how he shoots and his unique shooting form.
We're going to get a little bit more of him as he gets set to go, but we keep saying older. Temple grad, 2001, 2002.
Say, get off to a strong start here. Tee that thing up and knock that thing down, Jay.
There you see that form, not getting off the ground, just getting up on those tippy toes.
Right.
Calf muscles got to be insane.
Oh, I'm sure. He's got a different little release point, too. Get set, tee it, knock it down. Said it's just different than a lot of other forms you may see in this. Like I said, a lot of people are just like game shooters. They catch that thing, let that thing fly. Where he catches it, gets it teed up, set up, and then gets it out of his hands.
Looking silky smooth from the top of the key. This is where we got hot against Eric Devendorf in
Right.
the round of 32.
Like I said, look how wide his base is with his feet. Very wide, uses that momentum, keeps his elbow tight. Nice shot. At 15 here, we got 20 seconds to go.
Running a little bit tight on time.
Right, get
Moneyball.
moving. Need it. Yeah, good round. Get hot here. Finish it out strong. 21.
5 seconds to get through 3.
Get it off, get it off.
Caught in the hand.
I don't know if you're counting that one.
Gotta be frustrating as a shooter to know that you have the last money ball
Right.
in your hand when the
And the
alarm's
time
going
goes
off.
And I think that's what's the hardest piece is like we talked about earlier is that pace, that timing to go from rack 1 to rack 5 and still have plenty of time to get all the shots off.
Shanna's standing by with YouTuber Jay Jameson, rocking out backwards hat and all as he puts up a solid round.
Jay, how are you feeling after that round?
A little frustrated. That was probably my worst score of the weekend so far, but hopefully I'll still have a chance to move on. Let's see what happens.
And, I mean, you've beat some big names to get here. Are you feeling that pressure on this court, kind of championship court?
I think I just had a bad round. It happened, so hopefully I'll move on and get this one out of the way, and that's about it.
Thanks, Jay. Good luck.
You know, and it's funny, Jeremy, he says bad round, but really, if he gets that last money ball to go, he's at 24. He gets another shot to go, he's at 25. His high's 27.
Right.
It's not really that bad a round, but that's the standard that these guys have, especially as shooting coaches and things like that they want to produce.
Yeah, and like for a guy like that, like I said earlier, has 18 perfect rounds on YouTube. Like that's 34 points versus like if he's trying to put up a 22. In his mind, that could be a terrible round, but to some other people, that's a phenomenal shooting score round. But like I said, hopefully that 22 can propel him to the Elite 8 here and keep him moving forward.
Yep, he's going to – Bellman Purisic, the former New York Institute of Technology Bears, will be going right now. He's right now practicing at the top of the rack there, getting the feel for everything, and he's making his way through during this 2-minute warm-up period, even practicing at pulling the ball off.
And I tell you, that's been the biggest thing is, like I said, we can shoot on a shooting machine all day. We can catch and shoot. Everything comes straight to you. But when you got to grab it off the rack and your eyes change or your depth perception changes, I think that's very, very challenging for especially a shooter to stay locked in, stay dialed in and focused here. So you try to practice grabbing off that rack as much as you can because there's nothing, no real feel like that in a true game sense. So when you got to grab and shoot, completely different than a catch and shoot series.
Gotcha. Purisic, thank you very much. Trusty producer. That's why I'm just a hamster on the wheel and a pretty face, as I'm told. So
someone's got to get paid the big bucks with the pretty face.
That's not me. So,
here we go. Get him off to a good start here.
Bellman Purisic. Told you it was hard to track down before this to get everything.
Right. He's trying to stay locked in here. See, this is what I think is also different too. Is like when you try to, which side of the rack should I shoot from? Should I shoot on the right side? Should I shoot on the left side? So right there, he grabbed it from going from his left into his right hand. Now he just changed sides of the rack. So that's two different things. That's two different grabs, two different feels. And I feel like for a right-handed shooter, this is a little bit more of a true feel. The ball stays on that right-hand side the whole time. He's got 5 right now. Get that money ball. There's 7. Get hot now at this money ball rack.
When you're doing that, also saves a little bit of time from rack 1 to rack 2. Just that little bit to go around is an extra second.
It is. It's like I said. It's you can practice as much as you can, but there's no real true feel for it until you actually get into the event. Pretty good rack at 13 now. Moving to rack 4. Maybe cutting it close on time. Got 20 seconds left.
Another thing that we've noticed about him when we say cutting it close, he's moving quick, has quick grabs, but his ball very high arc.
Right.
And that's all taking time.
For sure. And also you can see how he's watching his shot. He's watching to see if he finishes it, keeps his follow through clean. He's got 4 seconds. Get these last 2 shots off there, brother. Get in there. Great shot. Looked like he finished with the 20 here. Still a very, very solid round. Said I'm sure he's feeling it, but like I said, I think said there's definitely always something to be proud of. Though. Made it this far. Said had a really good shooting round.
Standing by, Bellman Purisic with our Shanna Muscavich.
Bellman, a tight competition here. How are you feeling?
I wish I knew how much time was coming in when I hit that last rack. Would have hit that money ball.
Those make it count. Good luck.
Obviously, a little bit disappointed there when you look at, but he's right on his total. He came in as a 3 seed, so he shot really well yesterday. But now we have Jay Jamison, who was upset with his performance coming in here. He survives with 22. I mean, that's what it is, shooting under pressure, and there is pressure, and Jay gets it done and move on by 2.
For sure, and I think this is something that Jordan Wortman really wanted to do with the atmosphere. Like, so for the first couple rounds of day 1, moving into day 2, it's a little more relaxed. You can kind of get a feel for it. Okay, money's on the line now. As soon as you don't perform up to, like you said, quote unquote, your standard, you're going home, and it's done deal. So there's one winner here. So as soon as you have a okay round, and somebody might have an even better round, like that makes it tough, and it's the nerves kick in. Miss 1 shot, oh, you start thinking about it. It's mental. To miss a second one, oh, I need this one to go in. Like, and especially if you have someone who puts up a pretty good score ahead of you, that's tough to shoot against.
I couldn't do it. I have trouble on the golf course when I'm playing against somebody in a little match, and I see somebody rip one, down the middle, and I'm like, I gotta follow this.
Or
it is something
for sure. And as soon as just people just like they want you let them play through, and then everybody just stand there watching you golf, and it's like you better hit a good shot, or it's like I'm a terrible golfer. So you feel that pressure a little bit.
Absolutely. So we're switching sides of the bracket now. So we have 4 shooters are now through to the final 8. And now we're going to move on and determine those other 4 in this side. And first up is Brantley Osborne, kind of a local guy, 31 from Sunbury, Pennsylvania, went to Shikellamy High School, played at Shepherd University in West Virginia, 1,800 career points on the collegiate level. So he knows how to put the ball into the hoop. That's always important, too.
Oh, 100%. And like I said, honestly, it doesn't matter what division you play. You can play Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, NAI, JUCO. You still got to put the basketball through the hoop. And said to put up that many points is remarkable. So hats off to him here.
I had a college coach once tell me, if you're looking for kind of the best shooters, you're looking at the smaller colleges most likely, and you're looking at D2 going down into D3 because there's a lot of guys that could shoot just at those levels because that's their money maker.
That's 100%. They found their niche and they just got to go with it. Get off to a good start here.
So here is Brantley Osborne, and he did get off to the good start. That first 2 always important.
So you can see just the rotation he has on the ball. As soon as he releases it, he has a hard snap of that backspin. Had a really, really solid first round. Made all 5 here. Good shot. Get your money ball rack now. Keep that rhythm going. Keep that momentum going.
Early money ball rack, too.
Yeah. Solid. We're at 12 here. Top of the key. 3 racks to go. 40 seconds remaining.
Moving fast. Kind of a little brisk pace in between racks.
See, I don't mind that, too, because once you get in that pace and get in a groove, you can kind of stay in that groove and not get relaxed. I think if you can get locked in, stay locked in, you can just keep your follow through and your rhythm clean and more pure.
And you talk about clean, pure consistency. His rotation's a little bit different from everybody else. It's not your typical, perfect backspin. It's a little bit of a side spin, but it's the same side spin every shot.
Right. And I think that he needed a couple more of those, that 4th rack. He set a really, really high score here, but looks like he's going to finish out strong, 23, take his time, knock his money ball down. Finish with 23 here. Still a really good, strong score here.
Yeah, definitely got through those balls very quickly. And this probably, when you see what he did knocking off Colin Daly, and then coming into this round going up against Mo Creek, he knew he had to put up a big score. And right now, Brantley is standing by with Shanna.
Brantley, big upset to get into the Sweet 16. How do you feel about your performance thus far, both days?
I was a little disappointed how I shot. Day 1, trying to catch my breath.
It's a lot of work, isn't it?
settled in a little bit today. You know, I think I might have shot not as well as I needed to right there to beat this dude. Hell of a shooter. So, you know, hell of a tournament though. Having a blast. Oh, you go, 23.
That's a good score.
I got a chance. He shoots it really well. So we'll see what happens.
Thanks, Brantley. Good luck.
Yeah, Brantley knows he's up against it, but hey, he has a chance. You're in you put a 2 up as a first number. You get about, you know, more than 22. You got a chance. But he's right. He's going up against Mo Creek, and Mo Creek, in terms of basketball, he's one of the bigger names in the entire world of basketball right now, especially since the COVID lockdown and what he did in the basketball tournament.
Yeah, I know he had a really strong TBT performance, and that just kind of set him apart from your typical pro to him. And said hats off to him. I know he's shot really well in this event so far, but like we said, we've had people who shot really, really well, and not saying struggled a little bit, but they didn't put up his best scores that they were looking for. So hopefully if Mo can get a good start here, he can get hot and post a really good score.
Katy Perry says it the best, hot and cold. That's a shooter's life. Am I correct?
Right, 100%. If you can get hot, try to stay hot. But if you get cold, try to get out of that funk real quick.
Absolutely. Mo Creek, former Indiana Hoosier on those great Indiana basketball teams from like 2009 up to 2014. Then he transferred to George Washington. And if you don't know who Mo Creek is, look him up. Look up his story about everything going on in the world with the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Mo was in Odessa, was stuck there the way that he had to be evacuated out. Just a tremendous story. He plays for Sideline Cancer since 2018. He's really the face of Sideline Cancer, and he hit the game-winning shot in the bubble tournament in the semifinals to get them. Of course, they ended up losing in the finals, but that was a great run for a team of kind of unsung guys that were in that tournament that year.
Yeah, and I guess I can give props to my homie. His name's Billy Clapper, GM for the Sideline Cancer. Really put together a strong team and even coaching staff, and they're really starting to perform as more of a prolific TBT team.
He's in Mo Creek playing multiple overseas leagues, last in Ukraine. First shot rims out. It's been a while since we had somebody start on this side.
For sure.
To our right.
And so you can kind of see how his pace is. Kind of a casual, just grab and shoot, get to your next rack. So once you get that pace, start to get that rhythm going, and then you can kind of get hot with it here. So on to rack number 2. Well, we got 6 now. Keep that rhythm going.
So smooth. And he's moving. He is moving fast. It just doesn't seem like it.
Right. So top of the key, money ball rack. We're at 12 now. He started out kind of slowish on the first rack, and then he really, really has been hot in the racks 2 and 3. Perfect on that money ball rack here.
Mo Creek going smooth. 25 seconds left. 8 basketballs.
It's 21. Keep rolling. Keep putting up a good score. There's 24. Now just go set it now. Get 6 more here, Mo.
Are you just trying to find yourself here? Are you putting it in your mind like I already know I got it? Like I'm just.
You know you got it, so now finish out your rack strong and almost like use that as momentum to propel you into the next round. So Mo Creek with a 29, very, very phenomenal score here, and looking forward to watching him compete in the next round.
So Mo Creek moving on, and I heard some people talking, well, he did 23 in the first round, then he did 30. It's like, oh, he could be hot and cold, but obviously we see a big number put up 29 here.
Right, for sure. Let's see what they got to say with Shayna here.
Mo, quite a journey to get here. What brought you to the 3-point open?
This is what I do. I shoot all day, every day. I got a lot of trainers, family members that worked with me in the past, and you know this is my specialty, so I wanted to come out and see what I can do.
How are you feeling heading into the Elite 8? You get the win.
I feel good. You know, it's a lot of guys out here that can shoot really good, and I know I'm one of them too, so we're going to see where I head and see where it goes.
Thanks. Good luck, Mo. Andrew?
Thanks, Shanna, excuse me, right there. I knew I was going to do that at least once to you today. It doesn't matter how long I know you. So it's funny. Mo says that's his specialty. You look up his stats when he was at Indiana. He's really created himself into a 3-point shooter with hard work, because that's not the type of player he was with the Hoosiers.
Yeah, but let's say what he says now is this is what he do. And like I said, when you play basketball at a high level like he has, you figure out a way to score. You figure out how to shoot. You figure out what you're not saying strong or weak at, but you can develop those into strengths. So naturally, as a basketball player, the higher you go, you can figure out how to shoot.
And when you're playing as long as him
Right.
with his professional career overseas and everything, you remake yourself into what's going to make you last, and he's definitely done that.
Yeah, 100%. And honestly, like as many places he's been, you can almost change roles at different teams. So if I need to become a shooter for this team, I have to figure out how I can shoot better. If I need to be a slasher, a driver, or a finisher, I can figure out how I can be like more prolific at that.
This is moving on to our next matchup. We got Mike McGuire and Sean Armand. These are guys that are the definition of this. It's another one of those, hey, average Joes versus a guy who played Division I basketball and shot over 40% from three-point line.
For sure. And actually, I really like how he shoots here. So as he goes to grab the basketball from the rack, you watch his arm. He almost gets everything perfectly in the line, and as soon as he goes to release it, his right arm, shooting arm, just literally just locks in and stays super, super straight. And you can see it, watch his follow through. The ball spins nice, and I said it snaps through the net really, really clean here. So watching him, hoping he puts up a really good, strong score here to start.
Yeah, definitely. And you look at him, it's like, yeah, is he playing? Is he fan? Again, just an as he called himself, a regular guy out here. He's 24 years old from Garden City, New York, Western New England University. His brother played at Sacred Heart, and he actually prepped with this with Jay Camus, who was the former player for St. John's under Chris Mullins. So should have some pretty good prep here.
Right. Get off to a good, strong start, like we always say. But you can see how his elbow just locks out perfect and has a really, really strong follow through.
Could have used that one to get off to a little bit of a, I don't want to say hot start, but smoother start.
Right. See a couple more go in here and then see him really get hot here now. So McGuire in that second rack needs this money ball. Put him at 6. Good. Get to the top of the key. 3 racks to go. 43 seconds left.
His money ball's coming up next, so if he's going to get hot, this would be the correct time to do that.
100%. Get hot, stay hot. Need all of these now. We're at 10 here, 30 seconds to go. Has a really nice pace going still, so has plenty of time. So he can almost slow down a little bit and still have plenty of time. See, I think that's the difference between this competition and the NBA competition is that extra 10 seconds that you can finish your shot clean versus here, don't have to rush as much.
He seems to have slowed himself down in the last 3 racks. That first rack where he only hit 2 seemed to really rush. There you go. Finishes with a solid score of 25. Give a little fist pump right there. He knows that's a solid score.
Right. So 25 for Mr. McGuire, and we'll see what he has to say here now.
Mike, how big do you think hitting all those money balls will be?
I needed him. He's a very good shooter, so we'll hope for the best.
Feeling good after round 1?
Definitely. Hope to see you again.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, 25 is a really, really phenomenal score. Like I said, hopefully that can hold up for him. I know he started out relatively kind of slower. He had some make missy in the first 2 racks. Make 1, miss 1, make 2, miss 2. Needed a couple of the money balls. But once he got into rack 3, 4, 5, started to slow himself down a little bit. His follow-through started to get a little cleaner and get a couple more makes in. Finish with a solid score 25 here.
The top rack definitely was a benefit to him
sure.
to find yourself. I feel like a lot of shooters like that too. I mean, that's why they put so many of their money ball racks up there. But yeah, it's good score for him, especially what you said after that. The first 2 racks were not easy at all.
Right.
But he was able to find himself.
Yeah. Found his rhythm, got himself going, and like I said, posted a really solid 25. And I truly believe that round of 32, round of 16, as you start to move forward, I feel like you have to get around that 25, 26 to post a really solid score and to have a really good chance to keep moving forward with it. So like I said, 25, that's tough, but also that door is still open, and so he can come through and get hot early and propel himself into the next round here.
So he's going up against Sean Armand, former player from Iona, shot over 40%, plays overseas right now. He's got we'll go back to the 1996 Olympics, the Michael Johnson type Nikes there, the golden Nikes.
Look like got some gold Kobe's on, so hopefully Kobe can help propel him into the next round here. Got the high whites on, high white socks, the pants. He's ready to roll.
Pants is a different technique. We haven't seen that. It's a bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off.
Right. So get started early. Once again, it doesn't look like he has a really, really big jump. just barely gets off the ground, get himself going here, make a couple, and then get himself moving.
So far through all our competitors in this round of 16, I've not seen many shooters rolls. I've seen one.
Right.
That's it.
For sure. So like I said, he's got, what is this, 5 now, money ball rack now. This could change and get himself building his momentum now. Going to the top rack, we got 9:42 seconds remaining here.
Super smooth, doesn't seem to be rushing himself.
Right.
Small little jump.
About 30 seconds to go, last 2 racks. Got to get hot here. Got to start making a couple of these shots here. So what we talked about earlier is all these shooters, basically they find their rhythm. They have the same release, the same rotation, the same form every single time. And I think that's what really develops a really, really good shooter, is everything is consistent.
Racks 3 and 4, a little bit of a struggle. Started off great.
Right.
Just kind of lost it at the top. Not something we normally see. That's normally where people are rounding into their form.
Very solid score still, 18. Said a lot of pressure. Builds into, like I said, the Elite, going into Elite 8. And like I said, 18 still solid score. And let's see what he has to say here.
Yep.
Sean, not the round you were hoping for, but talk about how tough this competition has been for the past 2 days.
No, it's cool. It's a great event. Everybody who set it up did a great job. A lot of good shooters, from pros to non-pros to everybody that's doing their thing, trainers, influencers. So it's a lot of competition, so you never know who's going to win it.
Awesome. Thanks, Sean.
Again, just the attitude now. Here's a guy that plays overseas, a sniper when he was in college at Iona, and now loses to Mike McGuire, doesn't put up a good round. But everybody who talks about this event is saying how great an event this is for everybody. 2 days over July 4th weekend. Can't really get any better if you're a basketball player.
Yeah, 100%. And I honestly, truly believe that, like, this is a hard weekend to get people here just because it is a holiday, 4th of July. I get it. But at the same time, that 100K, it's going to draw some people. So if you can get people to buy in and have a really nice, well-ran event the first year, I think that's going to be very, very pivotal to move forward. So I think it's been phenomenal. I said no hiccups. Moving forward, I think next year, even bigger.
And you're saying that as a competitor.
As
you're not saying that as one of the organizers.
As a competitor.
Like
so
that.
basically, my affiliation with this, I shot some Instagram, TikTok videos and helped promote the event. Other than that, I'm a competitor now, and I'm trying to win this thing. And like I really, like I said, I feel strongly like moving forward, I could see this event being on TV more. I could see ESPN picking it up. I could see more and more sponsors getting involved, but also I could see more and more high-level shooters getting involved, because I feel like, well, year one, kind of skeptical. Number two, 100K, what? So
Yeah.
like, I can't tell you how many just social media messages I have of like, hey, is this for real? How can I get involved? How can I this? And I'm like, I don't have enough hours in the day to respond to everybody, but like, I can't wait to see once the final check is presented to somebody for a winner, and all of a sudden, like, yeah, this is legit and it's real and it's here to stay now. So I'm anxious to see how this builds from year one into year two now.
Yeah, we're not, when we say 100 grand, we're not giving out the candy bar.
Right,
like
100%.
It's just not, chocolate and peanuts here. It's it's chocolate and peanuts, but with a little bit of green.
A little extra to it. So I'm sure somebody's a little bit more excited to take that check home versus a candy bar.
So here's one of the good matchups that we've been anticipating: Tucker Leschko and Jordan Reaver. And Tucker actually going first. Here's the thing: the higher seed Jordan Reaver choosing to let his opponent set the pace and number.
Right. So you said we're always going to talk about it. Get off to a good strong start. Miss the first 2 of 3. Miss 3 of 4. Get this money ball. Now get yourself rolling here a little bit. Off to rack 2, still has plenty of time. Let's say nice solid pace, good follow through, good rhythm. Say get yourself going here now.
I notice he keeps moving back.
Right.
He keeps shifting back to the ball right there. Is that just a shooter kind of being in a game mode where it's like, hey, if I'm playing, I got to be able to move. But I see a lot of guys like Jay Jamison who's right up against the line.
Jay Jamison almost has his toes directly up to the line, and so that's gets you closer to the basket. For sure, but also at the end of the day, like, you play to your line. Like, if you have to, like, back yourself up, but at Spooky Nook here in Pennsylvania, the farthest line they have on the court is the old college three-point line, and said this guy almost looks like he's backing up to like the new international college line or the NBA line, which sometimes can make a difference here. So he's got 15, got 8 seconds left. Finish this thing out strong here. Finish in with money balls. One more. Knock it down. There we go. Right as time expires, finish with a really solid 21.
Knew we had time. It's an important ball to make sure you get over that 20 barrier right there and at least put 2 up. I feel like if you don't put 2 as a first number, you're not really putting the pressure on. But Shanna standing by with Tucker, find out about that Sweet 16 round.
Tucker, you're one of the only shooters so far in the Sweet 16 round to go all money balls on the last rack. Any strategy there?
Yeah, I think the more I shoot, the hotter I get. So having the money balls in my last rack, feeling more confident, and also you kind of feel the pressure, and I like kind of shooting under pressure. Sometimes the last balls really matter, so that's where I wanted my money balls.
Happy with your score this round?
Not so much. We'd like to apply a little bit more pressure, but I haven't shot well all day. Hoping I can keep surviving and advancing, though.
You're still alive, Tucker. You're still alive. Thanks.
He is still alive. Tough opponent here. Jordan Reaver, who knows how to shoot the basketball as well. No surprise he comes from Minnesota. I feel like a lot of those upper Midwest guys just know how to shoot the basketball.
Right, 100%. And so actually I went to dinner with Jordan last night and Bjorn Broman, and let's just say I felt weird because I was the worst shooter out of the 3 going to dinner. But watching these guys compete, watching their stroke, it's the same. Like I said, this guy is he talked to me last night. He played overseas for 6 years, shot the ball at an insane rate, and I'm really, really interested to watch how he competes because he's thinking it through too. Hey, I'm going to let him go first, let him post his score, and then I'm going to try to come in and beat him here.
You mentioned he could shoot the rock. 48%. 48% from 3 his senior year in college.
Unreal. Like I said, so basically like what's Steph Curry shoot in the NBA? 40, which is unreal in the NBA. But like I said, to add a couple extra percentage points, that's huge. So see how he does here, get off to a strong start. And I will say Jordan has had, he shot 4 or 5 times now, and he's posted really, really solid scores in this 2-day event so far.
25 and 28 so far in the 2 rounds today. So he's basically, if you keep going up, I mean, let's expect around a 30 here, not to add pressure to him, but he's a Division II All-American 2014-15 season, Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference Player of the Year in 2014-15 season from Minnesota State University and also at Moorhead. Lives up in Minneapolis. He's getting locked in right now.
Locked in. I expect a really strong start here. I said he's been shooting the ball phenomenal all weekend, so why not stop now? Keep going.
Kind of loosey-goosey there. A lot of people are tense. He kind of moving his arms.
Right, get himself locked in. So he's off to a very strong start here. What is that, 3 or 4? Money ball coming. Very solid 5 of the first rack here. But also you can, what we talked about earlier with Tucker, so as Jordan's shooting, you can kind of tell he's a little bit closer to the actual college three-point line now versus when Tucker was shooting was a couple feet back.
Kind of keeping the left plant foot like up near that line, reaching back.
Step right into it and pull. So top of the key now, 37 seconds remaining. It is a money ball rack, and looks like he's at 17. Can we get to 19? Yep, the last 2 racks, plenty of time. Like I said, he can almost slow down a little bit if he wanted to. Get himself hot here, finish it out strong. 21, get to 23, money ball goes, last rack, finish strong, Jordan.
I think right there on that rack, that was an example of an adjustment where he missed one and then took knowing he had the time, I'm going to slow it down, get back into my pace, and now he's gone
For
straight
sure.
through.
26, that takes him to 28, so once again has a really, really strong score and shows why he's been one of the stronger shooters this entire weekend. So once again, we went to dinner, and that's still I was the weakest link in that conversation. So 2 guys I go to dinner with go to the Elite 8, Final 4, and then I'm bumped out in 32.
I think what you did. I think what you did was make it easy for him, like knowing, like, okay, I'm out to dinner with one of my boys. Everything's just gonna cruise along.
Right.
Shanna, he's cruising on into the Elite 8, nice and smooth. Jordan Reaver.
Jordan, 1 seed. You've posted strong numbers the entire tournament. How are you feeling going into the Elite 8?
Good. I feel good. It's a great event, and a lot of, obviously, the best shooters are left, so can't really worry about what other guys do. Just gotta go out and do what you feel comfortable doing, and shooting.
And talk a little bit about your preparation coming into the weekend.
Just getting a lot of shots up. Back home, I'm from Minnesota, playing pickup. Just like I said, getting a lot of shots up and doing rounds of this stuff. And it's hard to get used to shooting from a rack. You're not used to that. Finding a place that has 5 racks for you to shoot off of, but you know, at the end of the day, it's just shooting a basketball game.
Jordan, the most important question, review on Lancaster County, Pennsylvania.
It seems like a great city. This is a great venue. What is it, 20-plus courts? It's amazing. But as far as Lancaster seems nice. I didn't get to see much because, you know, time goes by and you go back to the hotel and just kind of...
You're busy shooting.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what gets you here. Thanks, Jordan.
It is a great facility here at Spooky Nook, former home, by the way, of the Team USA field hockey national program. So they do know how to hold big-time events here, always college recruiting events. Great AAU venue. I'm here on a lot of Saturdays.
Right.
Sometimes I'm wearing a stripe. Sometimes I come in just to watch. But the courts here are phenomenal, the way everybody treats it. But I got to tell you, Jordan Reaver, that is an impressive shooter right there. And if you had to put money on somebody to win this thing, the way he's shooting yesterday, the way he's shooting today,
100%.
He'd be one of them.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, one of the best shooters in the competition. I would also put him at one of the top shooters just in the country. Competes at a high level, played at a high level, and just even more important, he's is a phenomenal person. He's at a high level just person to know and to be around. So if I could, I would always try to experience being around those types of people every day of my life. So for phenomenal shooter, posted really solid score, gonna continue to post good numbers the rest of the weekend here.
You talk about phenomenal people. Just that entire group that you were out to dinner with when we were over there looking at the brackets. Like, here I come walking in, I'm just asking some of the guys and stuff like that. You start chatting me up, Bjorn starts chatting me up. Jordan was like, oh yeah, that's not how you pronounce my name. And it was just like no pressure. And like sometimes you just have people that when the chips are down, like that, you could just sense the tension in them. But none of it out of you guys. And this was before you shot in the last round.
Yeah, right. So like I said it's different as you start to grow, and I would say the basketball world, like you compete at a high level. Like Bjorn said, he played in the NCAA tournament. It's a lot of impactful and eyes are all on you moments. But like now, there's cameras, there's money, there's attention, there's pressure. It's different, and that's what I think is really, really cool about this event. And I'm anxious to see how this continues to build moving forward.
The final Sweet 16 matchup: Johnny Dombrowski, who's on the rack now, against Desi Washington, who scored 33. So Dombrowski has gotta go. Good shooter, a little bit overhand technique here.
Right. Said if he can get hot here, like I said, I've watched him post some really, really good scores throughout the weekend here. He's off to a somewhat of a slow start, but I know he's going to get hot and post a phenomenal score. Dombrowski
out of Dearborn Academy in Newtown, Massachusetts, all-time leading scorer and rebounder there. Went to Anna Marie College and Wissahickon Community College. That one's a tongue twister. I apologize for that one.
Right, top of the key.
Yeah, college career high of 47 points.
Wow.
And almost 50% from three-point range.
Right, that's pretty remarkable how he shot it. And like I said, we're on to rack number 4, 28 seconds to go. Got a score right now of 15. They said can still get hot, can still finish out strong, and post a really good score, and hopefully try to knock out Desi Washington here.
Got 15 flying. Probably the fastest guy to get to the last rack.
Right. Say get hot, finish strong here. Got a score right now of 18, 10 seconds to go. Good last 2 shots, knock this thing down. Go finish strong here. Good, solid 22.
Johnny Dombrowski needed that last rack to get up there to make that a 20, as the first one saw him working
Come over here.
with his coach. Shanna's gonna grab him in just a sec. Plays professional basketball for Western Mass Zombies in the East Coast Basketball League. Shanna, Johnny Dombrowski, 22 points.
Johnny, quite a journey to get here. Why did you sign up for the 3-Point Open?
I signed up for the 3-Point Open is because I knew that there was going to be a lot of amazing shooters out there, and so far I met a lot of great people from all over, and I really wanted to come out and compete and just compete with some of the best shooters in this game. And
you've done that. How do you feel about your performance?
I've been feeling pretty good about my performance. There was a lot of times where I've been overdoing it on the when I'm practicing warming up, but other than that, I just follow my rhythm, follow my flow, and just make some shots.
Awesome. Solid score. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kind of feeling his rhythm, feeling his flow, kind of like the Jamaican bobsled team there.
Right.
And he got it, struggled a little bit through the center of the racks, but how tough is it for the shooter, actually, if you start well, then struggle to keep that mentally, to find yourself, to come back?
It's so hard, and honestly, these competitions right now is crazy because now there's pressure. Now the momentum is building up so much, and like I said, as soon as you miss one shot, that's the only thing I'm thinking of now, not the next one, which is so hard. And like I said, if I can get it through my mind okay, hey, next shot, move on to the next shot, move on to the next shot. And like I said, you can almost prepare yourself for a better round. But as soon as you get to that one miss, and then got to almost bounce back and kind of get your makes going again here.
Got a tough opponent here. Desi Washington had an easy first round today in the round of 64. Had a forfeit. He still shot.
Right.
He put up 33.
It's crazy.
33 points.
So I believe that is missing one shot. And like I said, at that point, he could have taken his time. He could have shot at a very, very comfortable, slow speed. But I feel like if you can do that and post a really good score, I think that's only going to help you move forward into like building your momentum, especially if you're an elite shooter. So let's see how he gets off to a good start here.
Desi, one of the local favorites from Central Dauphin High School outside of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, played at Delaware State and then St. Peter's. Everybody but knows them now.
For sure, 100%. Just the run that they had, off to a pretty good start here. Had 4 out of 5 on to rack number 2. So you can kind of just see how comfortable he is just grabbing. His release is clean, follow through is clean. Got 8, top of the key, all money ball rack now, 44 seconds to go. There we go, we're at 10.
Find the range here for the last 2.
Right, got to get hot. Still has plenty of time though, it's got 14 now.
Has to beat 22 or tie 22 to have a tiebreaker. Right. We've already had a double tiebreaker in this round.
Right. This is a big rack for him here. 3 for 4, needs the money ball. Got it. Down to 19. Still has 15 seconds left. Plenty of time. See him checking the time, checking his pace. 20.
1.
There it is. Need this one.
Makes it look easy.
Right.
Coming into the last rack.
Yep.
Finishes with the money ball. No doubt about that for the Turkish Professional Basketball League player Desi Washington out of Harrisburg.
Right, phenomenal round. Shot at 25. Like I said, it's posted phenomenal numbers all weekend, and see what he had to say about that round here.
Desi, you've posted some big scores all weekend. Was your mindset different coming into the Sweet 16 versus other rounds previously?
It's really just the same. I mean, I'm just trying to be myself. You know, I can't really worry about too much what other people are doing. When I start doing that, then that's whenever it gets into a mental game. So just make as many shots as possible.
How are you feeling going into the Elite Eight?
I didn't really shoot that well this last one, but it's a little better than my last round.
Still alive for 100K. That's all that matters. Thanks, Desi.
That is all that matters. He's a former Peacock of St. Peter's, and they can fly, but they can strut, and he is into the final 8 right there.
Right.
We got Al Kaleas as we go through our final 8. Anthony Miracola, Bjorn Broman, Jay Jameson, Desi Washington, Jordan Reaver, Mike McGuire, and Mo Creek. There's a lot of big names in there, and there's also some regular guys, which is pretty awesome.
Crazy, and they said, and that's what I think is so cool about this event. Anybody can compete, anybody can have a chance to win, and like I said, it's fun to watch the momentum build. It's fun to watch how each competitor gets ready for their round. It's fun to watch how they compete and move forward. If they miss, if they make, how they just react. And like I said, even Desi Washington posted 25, which is a very, very phenomenal score, and he was it's okay. So like I said, some of these standards these guys have, they shoot the ball at such a high clip, it's almost like that's not even close to good enough for me.
I feel like that was a long layoff from the morning session
Right.
to the afternoon. I feel like now these guys, they were standing around for so long. And yes, there's warm-up courts and things like that. But now that they've been on this court, they've seen the setup and things like that, I feel like at least if one, if not 3 people are going to put up 3 as a first number.
For sure, and I'm anxious to see. Yeah, I'm anxious to see how this round goes and see if anybody can get in the 30s. And I want to see if anybody can post a perfect 34th score. And I think that could be really, really big, and especially mentally. That's the biggest thing. And mentally is can I stay locked in? If I miss a shot, how can I get locked back in?
There's a lot of guys out there that have done a lot of stuff that are special in the basketball world. Shanna is standing by with one of those guys who is running one of the best basketball teams and one of the most exciting leagues going right now in the country.
That's right, Andrew. I'm here with Jordan Griffith. Jordan, you're from Sideline Cancer. Tell me a little bit about the organization.
Yeah, so we started the organization back in 2010. Our community came together when my dad got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. He had a 19-month bout, eventually passed away, and over time, this has evolved from like kind of a mom and pop shop, which we still are in a good deal, in most circumstances. But we've really grown through the sport of basketball. Mo Creek, one of our sideline cancer TBT pros, is here today shooting, and we try to inspire others to do better for their community. Ours is to impact the outcome of pancreatic cancer through the sport that we love, which is basketball, and so that's what brings us out here today. Our great cause mixed with a great tournament and a great concept. And a very large check to be presented here at the end. And so, we're really excited to be here, and we appreciate, them reaching out to us and bringing us here today.
Well, and tell us a little bit about how you connected with a 3-point open and how you kind of saw that working into Sideline Cancer's mission.
Yeah, so it was actually only earlier this week. Our general manager of the TBT reached out to me and was like, hey, there's this 3-point open, winner gets $100,000. And immediately a thought went through my mind, because I am actually a pretty good shooter, all right? I was like, man, I could win this thing.
Jordan out here trying to show these young dudes what's up.
I know, right? And then I was like, you know what, actually, like Mo Creek, he's kind of been the face of Sideline Cancer for the last, 4 or 5 years. He hit a huge shot for us in the TBT 2020 bubble, and we just felt as if, he would be the perfect person to represent Sideline Cancer here today, and he's really showed up today. He had a 30-point round earlier, backed it up with a 29. Like, we're really, really excited to see what he's going to do in the next couple rounds.
Well, that's awesome. And how have you guys enjoyed your stay here in Lancaster, enjoyed your experience at the 3-point open?
Yeah, so I'm actually down here a lot. So we have a very large AAU program. We have 19 teams down here in Lancaster, and then we have 6 in Altoona. And so we kind of blend the teams together. So we're down here at Spooky Nook a lot. And actually, Mo comes up here a lot to watch our AAU teams play. He's about 2 hours, hour 45 away from here, just outside of D.C. So this is kind of our center point. Our TBT head coach, he resides here in Lancaster. So, it's staying over at Charlie's house, and, you kind of get the boys in town, and, we go out get dinner together and all that good stuff. And, it's just great to have everybody here, because we don't get to see each other a ton, but we communicate a lot. And so this 3-point open really brought us together. My mom's here today, who's the president. We brought a couple interns with us, and it's just really powerful what's happening here.
That's awesome. Well, Jordan, we thank you guys for being here. Thank you for what you're doing, most importantly. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you, Shanna. Thank you, Jordan. And I'm pulling up Sideline Cancer right now, and it's one of the great stories. And, they were one of the teams and the leagues with the basketball tournament to kind of get us out of the COVID mode. Right, I mean, it was in a bubble, but, it was exciting. Mo Creek shot in that semifinal round, and you just heard Jordan Griffin talk about the head coach residing here in the Lancaster area. That's Millersville's Charlie Parker, the great Marauder right there. Just a lot of local connections this area has to Sideline Cancer, and I think it's great to see Mo Creek, and he is the face of Sideline Cancer
100%.
Be here today.
And it's really, really fascinating, especially with, like I said, what the TBT is really doing, because it's very, very fun to watch now, especially when they add in that Elam ending. And instead of like, hey, we're just playing to the final buzzer, hey, get to that set score. Okay, now first team to that number. And I think you really start to see the competitive nature come out in these guys, but that turned into the NBA All-Star game now. So they went to the Elam ending this past year, and you could see like who was really ready to step up and compete. Also, there was money on the line for both the TBT and for the NBA All-Star game for different charities, but like you got to see the competitive nature and the willingness to win then.
Yeah, I love the Elam ending too. I think it's great, reffing AAU basketball tournaments and things like that. I think it keeps the games cleaner. I think it's good, especially good for youth basketball and things like that. But definitely some good stuff. The shooting is going to resume here in about 15 minutes. So it's we got about a 15-minute break. At 4:15, we're supposed to be back on. We'll have plenty of more good stuff. Shannon will be getting some more great interviews on the sidelines. Jeremy, you're coming back, am I correct?
I'll be here. I'm sitting here and I'll be talking with you. Said our best interview lady out here cooking up some fire questions. She's doing great, baby.
Awesome. We're going to get more into the social media aspect of this entire event when we come back, and we're going to promote some of these guys that have their own social media following, because, hey, they're out here working, not just for $100,000. This is part of the brand.
Sure.
This is part of their brand as well, your brand, Jorn's brand, and Hayes' brand, Jay Jameson's brand, a lot of stuff like that. So we're going to step aside. We're going to take a little bit of a break, get some fluids in. It's like, we're not the athletes, but we still got to get some fluids in us. So stay around, stay with us. 3-point open is coming back. High-stakes shooting competition. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to Spooky Nook. Welcome back to the 3-Point Open, live from Spooky Nook Sports Complex in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I should say, let's be more specific here. Manheim, world-famous Manheim, Pennsylvania in Lancaster County. Andrew Callista with you alongside Jeremy Hayes and Shanna Muscavage.
Shanna Banana.
Excuse me, we just got done going over this. The harassment runs deep when you screw something up here. So, yes, Shanna Muscavage.
For sure. And like I said, this Spooky Nook here, the sports complex, is kind of unreal. So we're on the 10 main courts, all wooden courts here. They got 4 extra little pop-up courts. And then actually in the far back is another like 20. So, like, honestly, there's 30-some plus basketball courts, plus a fitness area, plus a rock wall playground area.
A hotel.
It's
a
hotel
restaurants. Yep.
So, like, basically, this is all literally a one-stop shop if you're looking for a do-it-all type of place. And I think they thought of it all, and I think they really maximize their space and what they can do for the event here.
So, Jeremy, let's set the scene of what we have. We have a 2-day 3-point open, high-stakes shooting competition with a $100,000 grand prize set over 2 days. Over 100 shooters came into this. 64 qualified to today. We had a morning session that knocked that down to 16 to start the afternoon, and now we are in the final Elite 8.
Yeah, this is pretty remarkable. And I said to watch from day one, they said a little bit more relaxed to now pressurized. Elite 8. Guys are going to shoot in the, I would say, mid to upper 20s, and I'd love to see somebody getting that 30 rack here.
We got our first elite matchup, Anthony Miracola. He's on his first rack of balls right now, and this is a guy that won a 2-round extra tiebreaker, 2 overtime, we'll say, against Ryan Daly, who's a great former A10 player of the year.
For sure, and they said once again he's got that kind of a unique shooting form, grabs the basketball, tees it up almost to his right shooting shoulder and just releases it, but it's the same consistent shot every time. And as you can kind of see, he is off to a very nice start, and said he went perfect for his first 9 basketballs onto his money rack now here at the top. He's got 36 seconds to go, has a score of 14 right now, so we're doing a phenomenal job, off to a great start.
Phenomenal job. He hits his final money ball. Call him pure Michigan. That's where he's from.
Said phenomenal. He's got 24 seconds. We'll see how close he gets towards the end with his time. But they said off to a great start. He still has 6 basketballs left. Said he can post a really tough score to beat here.
He's at 25. He could hit 30. We said we were going to at least get 2 people in these next couple rounds to hit 30.
Right, get it off. So he's got one more.
Caught in the hand, would have counted, and that would have actually got us a 30.
Right.
We knew he was running close at the time, but 28 points from Anthony Miracola. That is a phenomenal round, and that puts a lot of pressure on his opponent, Al Calais. He's not sticking around for interviews. He's off. He's clearing his mind. He's like, how did I let that last one in my hand? And then he's like, I'm just coming back. Just one of those regular guys. Practices with his son, Anthony, who's 3 years old. Played high school basketball, not college. Has been doing this for 3 weeks. Standing by with Shanna.
Anthony, you've posted some strong numbers. You've got such a fluid motion. Any nerves out there? Because you seem very confident.
Yeah, I'm just a little upset because I keep consistently messing up the end. Because I can't see where the clack is, and it's really been tough. Just I'm misgauging the very end, and I think I just didn't. I barely just didn't get that off.
And you've done your money balls at the top. Have you changed that at all throughout the tournament?
No, I have not. Just try to stick with. I picked it. I'm just trying to stick with it.
It's worked so far, right? Thanks. Good luck.
A little bit unorthodox type shot there, but it's working. He has that lefty shot, but for a righty coming off the right shoulder, and a little bit of frustration with that last one in his hand. But 28 is a great score.
Oh, for sure. And we talked about it earlier, pace. The pace is huge because it's like you can get off to a strong start and be too quick to get into your rack and then have plenty of time left, or you could take your good old sweet time And then once you get to the final rack, like you said, literally what just happened, if he had a split second longer, he would have finished with a 30 instead of a 28 as the ball went in, but the basketball was still in his hands as he released the shot.
Andrew Callista alongside Jeremy Hayes bringing you this live stream. Jeremy, you're a fadeaway fitness, you're a shooting instructor, shooting coach, you're a shooting influencer, social media influencer in the basketball world. What role did that of social media, Instagram, TikTok, what role did that play in getting so many great shooters here?
It's kind of crazy. So I was sitting at home real late watching the NBA Finals, and I get this random direct message on Instagram from the 3-Point Open. No idea what it is. And hey, would you like to join this 3-point shooting high stakes competition? Blah 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 for 100K. I'm thinking like, bro, what? Like, there ain't no way this is real. And so I'm messaging back and forth with the main guy, Jordan Wortman, and we ended up deciding like, yo, I just want to get on a call. Let's connect. And once I did that, I start to understand his vision, where he wanted to go with it, but also what do you want from me? Like, all I am is I'm a basketball skills trainer, and also I can influence people. So I post content all the time. And when I did that and he reached out to me, like, I just started posting content for the event, and it just really took off from there.
Here we go, Al Calais, a 5 seed, pretty good seed. He's been consistent all day, made 25 in his last round, needs to make 28 here.
Right now, he has this very smooth left-handed shot, and it's the same snap every single time. So basically every time he shoots it and makes it, that just snaps that net, and he has a really solid release. So like I said, he's posted strong scores all weekend, and I don't think if he does that, I don't think he gets to the Elite Eight. So see how he finishes out his round here at the top of the key now, 37 seconds to go. Has a score of right now at 11 at his money ball rack.
Was hot through the first 2 rounds. That last money ball on rack number 2 maybe throws him off a little bit going into that one. Not a good money ball rack for him.
Right, for sure. So let's see how he can finish out. 20 seconds left. Has a score right now of 14. Keep this thing rolling. Try to finish it out strong.
Needs to beat 28. That's 18 right now. Not going to get that done, but still pushing hard to put up a good number.
100%. And like I said, Al's been in the shooting competition space for a while, so I know him and even the competitor earlier, Greg Chacon, they've competed against each other, I believe, in college together, but then also have did numerous shooting competitions for money over the last 10-15 years. So to watch these guys compete at a high level was pretty remarkable, to see how well they shoot for their age, but also see how they compete against these pros and guys that are actually still playing. So let's see how Al talks with Shannon here.
Al, certainly not the result you were hoping for, but your entry here brought a lot of credibility to this competition. How has the competition been overall 2 days?
It's great. I mean, I can't, for this being a first-time event, it was first class. Jordan and everyone involved did a fantastic job. I hope it just gets bigger and better, and I can't wait to be back.
So you'll be back next year? We've got that on camera?
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks so much, Al.
Al Calais, there's a guy that scores almost 2,000 points in his high school career up at Bishop O'Hara, up near Scranton, Pennsylvania. Just, you go down his resume, and, you know, when Shanna said he's one of the guys that kind of made this event happen, give this event credibility. 2015 Borgata Casino free throw champ in Atlantic City. 2016 International Shooter Federation free throw champ at Saratoga Springs. Saratoga Springs known for their international competitions. National Basketball Shooters Association three-point and hot shot champ out in Vegas. 2017 at Saratoga three-point champ. And he's always posting videos on YouTube under Al Calais. I mean, that's what you kind of this event needed. Right. And going back, you're one of those guys with credibility online, and the group of guys that you follow and are friends with to kind of get the ball rolling on this once Jordan Wortman
for sure
reached out.
And I honestly think it's like you need the names, and like, okay, so my credibility, just to say, as a basketball trainer, influencer on social media, along with Bjorn Broman and how he promotes the event too. Okay, now bring in your Desi Washington, your Mo Creek, your actual pros, guys that can still compete and play at a high level. Now you bring in Al Calais. Now you bring in this Jay Jamison and Greg Chacon, guys that are just strictly shooting competitors and like their names in the industry. So I said, when you bring in people like that, that's just, like you said, more and more credibility that gets brought to your competition. And like I said, that's going to hopefully propel this to next year and the year after to bring in even more high-level shooting guys. Dave Hopla, I'm sure he would even join in with this too.
And that's what this is about. This is the inaugural, not
Right.
the first annual. This is the inaugural. Next year it becomes the second annual.
For sure.
And that's what they want to do. Jordan Wortman doing a great job here. His older brother Ty is on the mic. Middle brother of the three Wortman bros, Mark, running around keeping score. We got Jay Jamison in our next Elite Eight. Our next Elite Eight bracket, Jay Jamison, he's on the racks right now.
Like I said, once again, we talked about that unique shooting form, how he has that super, super wide base, and he just tees that thing up every single time, but it's the exact same consistent release every time. So I really look for him to post a really, really strong score here in this round.
Subpar round for him last time with only 22, but it was able to sneak through.
Right.
Has put up 27 today already.
Right, and I love it. He's repping the backwards hat. Nice, calm, casual shooter. Said he gets into his shot, finishes his release. Right now, it just finishes through the second rack with a score of 10. Said we're at 40 seconds to go at his money ball rack now.
Money ball at the top. Jay owns Jamison Basketball, which is a developmental program, specializes in private training and skills camps. And he is also on Instagram at JJamison22, where he posts all his skills videos and his own shooting videos. Frequently, he says he makes 25 out of 25.
Right, which is crazy. So like I said, I believe he posted on his YouTube 18 perfect rounds in preparation for this event, which is, I mean, I didn't do one perfect round, which is pretty crazy for somebody to do double digits, almost to 20. So phenomenal shooter. Just finished his rack right there. As time expires, look like he's finished with a score 26 here.
That money ball would have been huge to get to 28, especially the first shooter going up against one of the favorites in this competition to post 28. That would be a big number. Not that 26 isn't a big number for Jay Jamison.
So coming off of a very solid round here for Jay. So let's see what he has to say with Shannon here.
Jay, a solid round. Are you happy with the number you posted?
No, not at all. I should have done better. I started off really strong. Fell apart a little bit at the end. But hopefully, once again, I'll have a chance to move on. It's not easy here in the later rounds. It's nerve-wracking and all, but it's fun. It's good competition.
Overall, starting to feel the pressure down here on championship court?
Of course. You get a little tense. So you got to remember to breathe and be strong and all that stuff, but it's just not easy.
Spoken like a true coach.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks, Jay.
Absolutely, Jay Jamison, one of the good shooting coaches in the East Coast of the United States. At JamisonBasketball.org is the website if you're interested in that. And when you talk about one of the great shooters, that are here, we're talking about this guy, Bjorn Broman. This guy could just flat out shoot the rock.
Puts that thing inside of the basket at a very, very high clip. And like I said, he's been in the basketball space for a while. I said posting ridiculous numbers in high school, going D1 to Winthrop. Now all of a sudden he works with his older brother at the Broman Academy basketball skills training stuff. Now he has a very, very large following on his TikTok social media where he posts regularly every single day. So it's like now he's becoming a bigger and bigger name in this space, but also to give him very much credibility, he still shoots that thing very, very well. So like I said, we're in the Elite Eight, and he's posted high 20s, mid 20s, and I said I think he has a really, really good chance. And it's tough now as we get farther and farther in the competition. And now we got to knock out Jay Jamison, one of the favorites of the event almost.
26 earlier today, 23 in the last round. He kind of took his foot off the gas, but he knows he has to get 26. So look for that. He's going through right now, making sure all the balls are lined correctly for him, to get that handle. And just you talked about his brother Anders and Bjorn, top two scorers in Minnesota high school history. Anders had 5,100. Bjorn had 4,100. Anders, by the way, scored 71 points twice in a game. Bjorn scored 74 once. And you mentioned his social media following, 480,000 followers between the accounts, and he is a TikTok content creator.
Right. And yes, it does a phenomenal job with it. He said he really just found his little niche on TikTok and just ran with it. And I said, I think that's big, is finding some momentum, staying consistent, and being very disciplined into building a social media platform. And I said, let's see how this pans out for him as he gets started in that left corner here into rack 1. See if he can get off to a very strong start again and kind of lead that into rack 2 to 5.
So the official scoreboard has Jamison as a 24. Maybe that's why he's a little bit appointed in that round. So 24 seems to be the number, the official score that Broman needs to beat. And he seems to be off to a very good start through 2 racks.
Yeah, looks like he has a really comfortable pace going. He's at the top rack, all money ball rack now. Like to see him get an 8 to 10 here score. He missed first 2. See if he can get hot, get rolling a little bit.
He's got to collect himself and gather. I noticed a couple balls on this rack, not the rotation that he's accustomed to, as it only gets 1 out of 5 money balls.
Right. And I said, here's where the mental aspect comes in. Missed a couple shots, get yourself regained here, rejoin yourself, and then finish out your rack strong. We're at a 12 here, finishing out that 4th rack to 14. Final rack here. Get yourself hot, finish out on a good strong note here, Bjorn. There we go. 16, 17, make this thing. Good. 19.
Shooters shoot, that's what they do.
Right. So
Bjorn.
probably not the score you would like to have, but they said phenomenal shooting weekend all the way around. And they said for one of the, you could say fan favorites, or more known influencers that was in the event. So I love personally connecting with him, networking with him, and let's see what Shanna has to say here.
Bjorn, a tough number there to post, but you've been consistent all tournament long. Talk about your experience the past 2 days.
I've had so much fun. Jordan's done such a good job with the 3-point open. Great environment, good people. The number wasn't what I wanted, but it's been a fun weekend. Had some high numbers, had some low numbers, but whole experience has been awesome.
Now, you were one of the only shooters who went rack to rack and adjusted each ball. Is that like mental warfare on your opponents?
I'm a big positive guy, so I'm out there fist bumping, trying to get the mood up, trying to just get all the lines exactly where I want, but just having fun.
That's great. Thanks so much, Bjorn. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Shanna. You hear the little crowd roar right there. That's Jay Jameson's following right there to find out that he survived against one of the favorites in this, Bjorn Broman, who could just find out shooting. It's positivity. It's infectious.
Yeah.
He's going around. He's congratulating everybody. It's hard when you got 100 people entered for $100,000. It's not like going out there and putting up one big number, which he's done.
Right.
You got to do it consistently in rounds.
Yeah, and I think that's what's been the coolest thing is just in this event is like building off of how positive I can be with anybody else. Yes, I'm competing for myself to win, but also I want you to do well too. I'm not wishing bad on anybody. So I think Bjorn is one of probably the most positive people here. And as he just got beat in the Elite Eight, said he's probably still fist bumping somebody to try to bring a thing home.
Yeah, definitely a good guy to be around. I walked in, I immediately was like just drawn to him with that personality and stuff like that. And you too, because you were in that group. So
appreciate that, man. Yeah, so it's infectious to stick around with people that are like-minded and on the same kind of path and mission. And I think that's what drawn Bjorn and myself together is we're very positive people. We're wishing everybody the best, but also, like I said, we're trying to build together. I can do something really well fast, but I can go really, really far if I can do it as a group. So it's been fun to watch this thing grow. And like I said, for Bjorn to be here, like I said, that was came all the way from Carolina area, and so hopefully he can continue to be a part of this event for the next several years to come.
Next up, great matchup here. We got Mike McGuire. He's going up against the professional Mo Creek. And McGuire, he's had himself a tournament so far. Coming off the 3 seed, he's put up 23 and 26 and 25 today, looking for that consistently. Off to a pretty good start, 4 out of 5.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, we talked about earlier, with his shooting form and his release, he does the same thing every time, brings it almost right to that shot pocket, and he keeps everything in that one straight path to the basket. So you can see he snaps his elbow, but his follow-through is consistent the entire time. Snaps his wrist down and said he has really, really good solid rotation on the ball.
See that shot up there real close from the top. Could have used that there to get kind of in a groove.
Right.
Just 10 through 3. And I mean, this could be fatigue. We've not seen a couple shooters that have put up big numbers struggle here in this round of 8.
But I think this rack 4 was huge. He had, I believe, 4 out of 5 money ball racks. And let's see if he can finish this thing out strong. 15 seconds to go. Last 3 basketball shots here. Finish it out strong still, but look at plenty of time. He has 9 seconds to go. Really solid score, 23. So I'm sure he's pretty happy with that.
23, you see him let out a breath right there. Definitely his quickest round. Solid number to put the pressure on. Shanna standing by with Mike.
Mike, obviously going up against a big name in Mo Creek. Did you attack this round any differently, or was it just same as the past 2 days?
Same exact way the last two. You know, he's a great shooter. We'll go over there, we'll say some prayers, and that's it.
Thanks, Mike.
Understated. That's what it is. And now, two, kind of different styles here in terms of basketball careers. I should say Pat's, rather, but different styles out here, similar styles out here, because Mo is very deliberate and he's moving fast, but it doesn't seem like that. Mike just flew through his rack, and like you're looking at him, it's like he's not rushing at all.
Right. And I think that's what's been really, really helpful, especially for Mo here as he shoots. You can kind of just see he plays at his pace. He's not going to get sped up. He's not rushed, but also he's did it for years playing-wise. So especially when you're playing at a high level, if you start to get sped up in a game, you're all uncomfortable, out of sorts. Like I said, for a pro, you know what to do. He's going to get out there. He said it earlier, I'm a shooter. I'm going to shoot, and that's what I know. So I feel like he's going to post a really solid score here as he continues to move through the progression of the rounds.
You could, good players, when they get better and as they increase in level, the game slows down to them. And then we're talking playing 5-on-5, 3-on-3. Want to give 3-on-3 basketballs. That's now a FIBA sanctioned event out there. Can a shooter slow down a competition like this, that you're still moving fast to get through the time, but it's just slow for you in your own mind?
And I think that's big, due to the NBA shooting competition, where that's 60 seconds, and those guys are like barely getting off their last couple shots. Add those extra 10 seconds, and I think you can finish your shot a little cleaner. You can take your time when you need to, speed up when you need to, because you have an extra 10 seconds, and that can feel like an eternity to some people.
Absolutely. And we've seen, even with that extra 10 seconds, one caught in the palm that could have made the difference here for $100,000. So here goes Mo Creek, former Indiana Hoosier and George Washington player. Been playing for years overseas, most recently in Ukraine. That's a great story. Check that out online. It's made national headlines for every outlet.
Right. See if he can get hot here. He went 1 for 5 and hitting the money ball in the first rack. See if he can get going on the rack 2. Look like he's off to a really strong start on rack 2 here.
Needs to beat 23 to advance past Mike McGuire.
Money ball rack at the top of the key here. Needs all 5. Really posted a really strong score. So you can see his rotation on his shot. Ball looks like it's spinning the same way every single time. No side spin. Really solid.
Rack 2 seems to have found his groove, and definitely a benefit for the top of the key with the money balls as he goes 5 for 5.
I think it's going to be close, so it's going to come down on the wire. Time could play a factor. See if he can get hot, finish out his last 2 racks. Need this money ball here.
10 seconds left as he gets to the final rack.
So once again, if you can just see him, he still looks calm, cool, and collected, even when it's down to the pressurized crunch situation right now. Get it up. What is that, 22?
22. We're going to wait for the official count on that. You saw the frustration with Mo. Hopefully he's willing to talk to us. One of the faces of sideline cancer in the basketball tournament. Kind of ran out of time right there. Could have used final 2 shots. As it stands right now, it looks like he has been eliminated just by 1 shot with a couple. Shannon standing by with the face of sideline cancer, Mo Creek.
Mo, not the result you wanted, but you've done a great job here. You're here for the right cause. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's a great event. Hopefully it gets bigger in the long run. It's something that should be televised, and there's a lot of great shooters out here that we don't know about. And, you have somebody with autism out here. He was doing great. He got knocked out in the last round, but he did great. You know what I'm saying? We got people out here that's Guinness World Record holders. So, unfortunately, this is where it ends for me. But, I'll be back next year and try to crown it.
Well, we appreciate that, and we appreciate all you do for sideline cancer. Thanks, Mo.
Mo Creek, one of the great guys and bigger names right now in the last 3 years of the basketball world, with everything that's been going on with the basketball tournament and the sideline cancer story. Great attitude right there. A little bit frustrated with one of the favorites. And he mentioned it, like we've talked about, average guys being out here competing against a professional, and Mo is a professional. One of those average. Mike McGuire, he did play college basketball. He's moving on. Mo also talked about there was a young man with autism who competed and made it all the way to the final 16.
Right.
You could shoot the ball, you could be in this competition, and you could win $100,000.
For sure. And like I said, I'm going to continue to go back to it. It's like it's an awesome event because anybody can get in it, but anybody can compete to win. And I said, all it takes is for day 1, shoot okay, shoot well, but get to day 2. And when you get to day 2 and it's just head-to-head, it don't matter what your scores are. I just got to be one better than the guy I'm shooting against. So if you can get hot one time, then you can go far in this event and take home this check for $100K.
There were 2 marquee matchups coming into the Elite Eight. One of them we've already seen, Bjorn Broman and Jay Jamison. This is the other one that we've been waiting for to finalize this round, and it's Jordan Reaver and Desi Washington, 2 guys that could put up monster numbers. Reaver's been ridiculously consistent, going 28-28. Washington already has a round of 30. The Harrisburg native is on the rack near side to us in the corner.
Yeah, so I'm anxious to see how he gets started here. Said it once again, he's going to play at his pace, take his time. He has the same shot, same rotation, same shot every single time. So let's see if he can get into a groove early and then post a really, really high score again.
A little bit of a grimace of frustration right there. Only 3 on the first rack.
On to rack 2 here. Still going to try to find his groove. I think once he gets his groove, he'll really lock in. Need that one. 6 going to top of the key, money ball rack now. Still has plenty of time, 42 seconds to go.
The Central Dauphin Ram played at Delaware State and St. Peter's, transferring into St. Peter's in 2012. Since graduating in 2015, has played overseas in multiple countries, including Israel, Turkish basketball leagues.
Finishing out rack 4 here. Still has 16 seconds to go. Has 20, a score of 20. Let's see if he can post a really strong high 20s on this final rack here.
Plenty of time, too. Got there with 15 seconds.
Last one, 23. Can he get it to 25? Finish with 23 here.
23. 25 would have been a huge boost, especially with the man he's going up against. But Desi Washington, solid score, 23 to open right there. That puts the pressure on. A little bit of a frustration there. I feel like he wanted to do more with that final rack, missing the money ball right there, and also the third ball on that rack that, you know, that kind of could set a totally different tone.
For sure. Just have one or 2 extra little bounces. That changes the score from a 23 to a 27. So I said that's still a very, very solid score. I said Jordan is a phenomenal shooter and posted solid scores all weekend. But you never know. Like I said, that when it gets to this final last couple rounds, the pressure could build, the tension's in the air. So like I said, as soon as it gets down to the final, like I said, it's you can almost cut the tension with a knife in here now. So anxious to see really how Jordan starts here and gets his rounds rolling.
And Desi didn't want to talk. Understandably, that's actually the first time since we've been up on the live stream. But that kind of shows like the building pressure, and he's a little bit frustrated with how 2 of those racks went. Completely understandable.
For sure. And like I said, let's see how his competitor Jordan Reaver takes off here and see if he can get off to a strong start, see how his rhythm starts, and see if he can make it into that Final Four.
And Jordan, my first impression when I came in and I saw him shoot in the round of 64 was just silky smooth, consistent, not a lot of motion, and he just seemed very relaxed for everything that was going on.
Right, and that's what you talked about earlier. He said his shot, 48% in college, which is absurd.
Pull those numbers up right here. You ask, you shall receive. That's what they tell me. 48% from 3 his senior year in college. Lives in Minneapolis, played at Minnesota State University and Moorhead. I wonder if he knows Coach Hayden Fry from the old sitcom Coach.
He might. I said it's just the basketball world is really, really big, but at the end of the day, it's pretty small, and everybody seems to know everybody. So let's see if he can get off to a strong start on rack 1.
He's second all-time in the NCAA career free throw percentage. Wow. I mean, that's all a three-pointer is, just a couple feet back, right?
Right. That's basically, as soon as Steph Curry shoots that ball from wherever he shoots it, honestly, it feels like it's a free throw or a layup for him.
He's played in Croatia, the Czech Republic, German leagues, as well as Australian in his 5-year pro career. So smooth, same pace between every single shot, and right up against that line, which we're shooting from the old college NCAA line.
Yep. Gets to, got 38 seconds to go. Middle rack, third rack, all money ball rack. Starting to kind of find a little groove now. Starting to snap that basketball through the net. That was a really good rack for him. 18 right now, final 2 rack, plenty of time.
25 seconds, 8 basketballs to shoot yet.
He needs this money ball here. 20. That takes him to 22. Final rack, 15 seconds.
That
has a good pace here.
That first make on that rack, I think, kind of relaxed him a little bit because it was kind of tight.
Right. So 24, 25. Let's see if he can get this to 27. Really, really solid round for Jordan Reaver here.
Solid close as Desi Washington turns away. Can't watch. Knows he feels like he let a couple points slip through his fingers, and you can't do that when you're going up against a guy like Jordan Reaver. And Jordan is standing by with Shanna.
We think
27, I believe.
27, we believe.
We think
Shanna.
it's 27, but they're over at the scores table. We'll confirm. You'll hear Ty announce it as well. But very rarely do you miss consecutively. How hard is it mentally to get back into it and find that rhythm again?
Just try to, like I said, find a rhythm. Yesterday, just trying to about the time. I got done with 1 second, 9 seconds. So it's about finding the time, the rhythm, and just finding your pace. And as a shooter, you see one go in, you feel like the next 5 are going to go in. So it's a good feeling. Hit
your entire money ball rack. Are you always aware that's where you're creeping up to when you get to that top of the key?
Yeah, I mean, people always talk about middle or corner, and I always tell myself, if I'm not hot by the middle rack, I'm probably not going to get hot by the 4th or 5th rack. So I put it in the middle and see what happens.
I like that mentality. Thanks, Jordan.
Well, one thing for sure, Jeremy, is he's been hot pretty much this entire weekend with the numbers of consistently 25, 28, 28, 27, as we are now down to our final 4 with Anthony Miracola, Jay Jamison, Mike McGuire, and Jordan Reaver. They are our final 4 coming into this for $100,000.
And it's pretty crazy to watch these guys compete at a high level, but also to see them do it over and over and over again, especially when now the pressure's starting to build, especially now when all of a sudden the cameras are on. It's for money, and they're on TV. Like, there's all sorts of events that are popping in here. So I'm anxious to see how these guys really compete in the Final Four. Last couple rounds, and it's over.
It is coming up. Now, you just caught me texting. I'm texting and talking while sitting. Do not text and drive. Do not text and do any of that, folks. It's okay. I'm sitting down to do that. Now, don't text and shoot at the same time because you're not going to make many three-pointers doing that, and you're not going to be doing $100,000 possibly. So we're down to our final 4 shooters. It's exciting. We're going to take a short break. The final round starts in about 10 minutes, and we come back. We're actually going to sit down with Jordan Wortman, the man who put this entire event together. He's done a great job. Jeremy Hayes and I am Andrew Clissa. We'll be back in just a second. Don't go anywhere. Short break before the final 4 of the 3-point
Let's
open.
get it here.
I'm good.
Welcome back to Spooky Nook Sports Complex in Manheim, Pennsylvania for the 3-point open high-stakes three-point shootout for $100,000. I'm Andrew Klissa alongside Jeremy Hayes. Jeremy, it's been a great tournament here. We're down to our final 4 shooters.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal so far, and like I said, I'm really anxious to see how the final 4 pans out to the final 2, and then give one guy a chance to win that check for $100K.
We have a bunch of great shooters, world-class shooters, and somebody who knows all about world-class shooters is standing by with Shanna Muscatich.
Thanks, Andrew. I'm here with Dan Britton, head of the ISF International Shooter Federation. And Dan, I know you have your own three-point shooting competition as well.
Right. Yes, we actually have 3 of our contestants participating today. Al Clayhaas, Jerry Bukoy, and Greg Saccone. So they competed. Al got to the final 8, unfortunately dropped out, but what a great experience for everybody.
And how did you hear about the 3-point open?
Google basketball shooting, and it came down here. I saw Al also posted something on Facebook, so I felt it was a must for me to come down here and see what the experience was all about, and I'm blown away. This is fantastic. $100,000 to the winner. It's a commitment.
Absolutely. Well, appreciate you coming down. I know a long drive from New York, but how do you see these organizations coming together and working together moving forward?
I see, yes. Well, first, I'm in full support. 3-point open. A sport of basketball shooting must exist. It doesn't exist right now, and we need to make it happen. And collaborating with someone like Jordan of 3-point open, it just makes sense. And we need to bring others who are passionate about a sport of basketball shooting together and build it out. We need financing, we need sponsors, and we need the shooters to travel to make these events happen. So I'm excited.
Well, Dan, we appreciate you joining us today. Thank you so much. Andrew?
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Shanna. And that is what this is about, because when he says the sport, it is a sport of just basketball shooting, completely separate from the game. Granted, we have some high-level players here, but we also have, besides pros, we also have those regular guys that have done this. We started with over 100 shooters. I believe it was 112. We're down to our final 4.
Yeah, so I'm super, super excited to watch these guys. Like I said, they've competed at a high level all weekend, and why not stop here? So let's keep the ball rolling. Said Jay Jamison will be up first. Said he's going to be posting another phenomenal score. Said his shooting instructor. He's known for his, like I said, his unique shooting style. But like I said, he puts the basketball through the net at a high level.
It's Jay Jamison. He's up first with his trademark backwards hand. He's going up against Anthony Miracola, who is 38 years old and scored 28 in the last round. Jamison kind of do a little bit better. He's disappointed. 24, kind of feels like he skated by, got past Bjorn Broman, one of the favorites in this event. Jamison, one of the 2 seeds, and he has that distinct style. You see him not elevate, just up on the tippy toes, but super, super consistent.
Yeah, for sure. They said once again he went around, fixed every single basketball, so it's literally grab, locked in his shooting palm, ready to go. But they said his unique shooting style is just different. So than you're used to seeing in maybe a game situation. So he grabs it wide base with his feet, but then locks his elbow ready to shoot, and it's just said he shoots it, and at the end of the day, you got to put the ball through the hoop. That's all it is.
Jay Jamison of JamisonBasketball.org. He's a coach, private training, subscription-based online video library, and he is off to a pretty good start here.
Right. See if he can get the ball rolling. Said really post a high-level score, and said it's going to be tough to beat for Anthony Miracola as we move forward here.
I say pretty good start. He hit that second one, and then I kind of jinxed him there with the third ball, but he seems to have found at least that stroke right there for the money ball at the end of the first rack.
Right. Finishing rack 2 here. Right now we're at 7. See if you can get to 9. 9 now. Money ball rack at the top of the key. Be huge if you could get 4 or 5 out of these. Really nice shot. 30 seconds to go. We're at 15, short on shot 4. So we're at 15 through 3 racks on to round 4.
6 out of 10 on that money ball rack, possible.
So once you kind of find that groove, you're starting to looking it's like he's locked in now. Money ball. Yeah, good shot.
Big shot to get it to 21.
21, but once again, here comes that time crunch now. 5 seconds to go. Got a couple shots left. You see him pick the pace up a little bit. Get it off.
1 left on his hand, and Obviously kind of thrown off there towards the end, trying to rush through. But he puts up a number of 23. That's unofficial as of right now as they get the final count at the table. So Jamison with 23. That's the number Anthony Miracola has to beat. It's tense. We're down to the final 4 shooters for 100,000. Jay's going to wait a little bit, stick around as they reset these basketball. What's kind of going, like, we talked about setting the tone here and in earlier rounds. It's a little bit different choosing first or second now because these guys have all done it. They've either gone first or second. So now, like, is the strategy thrown out the window, or do you just go with what you are comfortable with yourself?
It's tough. Like I said, it just depends on what you're comfortable with. Like I said, if it's me and I want a chance to set a really, really high score, I might go first. Put the pressure on guy number 2. Or they say, hey, let him go, show his strengths. Let's just say post an okay score. All right, it's my job now. I know what I need to beat. Let's just go do it now. So they said, I think it gets to the point where, like, whatever you're comfortable with, you got to just run with it then.
We take a look at Anthony Miracola. He has 2 seconds on the warm-up. Still, it's time to go. One thing, he seems pretty laid back. Doesn't go around, check all the balls. He's 38 years old, out of Michigan. You know, entered the tournament because he's like, I could shoot. Why not me?
Right.
But he only warms up at the top of the key when he gets on the main court. He doesn't go, I mean, I know that's his money ball rack, but he doesn't go over to the corner, doesn't go over to the wing. This is just what he does, and he's cool, calm, and collected. Doesn't show much more emotion than he is right now.
Right. It looks like he's pretty locked in. Like I competed against him earlier, and he's the guy that knocked me out. And I went and was just talking to him. And even then, during the lunch break, he was the same calm, cool, and collective kind of guy, but also was shooting off to one of the side courts with his wife, just rebounding, and he was still locked in, loaded, ready to go. And like I said, you can see once we get to the final last couple shooters, what this really means to them. They want to stay locked in. They want to post a really good high score and ultimately be the guy that leaves with 100K.
I'm nervous for these guys. And by the way, he had one of the great showings today in a double overtime in which we shot all the racks again. Right. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But Anthony Miracola about to go in the final 4 right here.
Right. Get a good strong start here. Said rack 1. All 3 shots have not touched the rim. That's 4. Hit this one, be a perfect 6 score there.
I did hear a rim on number 4. Just a tack.
Just a little rim grazer. Still good so far. Stay hot. Build it to your money ball rack. So we're at solid 8 right now, 9.
There's 11.
And there's 11. 43 seconds to go. Money ball rack. Now this would be huge if you could get a really strong score at the top. 13 goes to 15. This would be a big one here. 15.
Just 4 out of 10 possible on the money rack.
Still 23 seconds to go. Still playing at his pace here. So get that shot off, finish your fall through. 17. Look like he's picking the pace up a little bit. There's 20. This is a big rack. Final rack here.
Plenty of time. Needs at least 3 to force OT.
23.
So we're guaranteed. There's 24. Unofficially 24.
And 24.
Money ball rings out, but we think it's going to be enough as they tally it up unofficially. That's one of the things. Can you even keep score in your head when you're going through this?
I think that's tough. Like I said, I'm trying to find my little groove. I'm trying to stay locked in. If I miss one, trying to get refocused. So I think it's hard if you try to keep your total as you're trying to shoot here. So let's see what Shannon has to say with Anthony here.
Anthony, those last 2 racks really coming up clutch for you. I noticed at the end in the last round you said you were kind of focused on that clock. Did you feel more comfortable? You look more comfortable.
Yeah, just trying to make it a point to keep glancing at it, which isn't what I'd been doing, but it's just I don't want to get to the end and not get these shots up. But I was trying to kind of keep track where I was, and this is the first time since we've been doing the first-second thing that I had to go second, so I kind of knew where I was aiming. And hey, at this point, like I said, everybody's a really good shooter. You just got to try to relax and shoot and hope for the best.
Anthony, is there anything that gets you rattled? Because you have been cool as a cucumber all day.
I don't know. I hope not. I'm trying my best to just keep my composure and just shoot my best. Hopefully not.
It's working so far. Thanks, Anthony.
He's the dad of a 3-year-old son who's also named Anthony. This is easy peasy for him to come out here and shoot the rock. But there, he kind of mentioned it was the first time he had to go second, so he kind of knew it. But it's hit or miss. Set the pace and put a lot of pressure on, or give your opponent that opening to know, like, hey, this is the number that I have to get to.
Yeah, and I think that's tough, especially when you're not the one making the decision. So if I got to go second and I got to watch my competition go first, okay, I see my score, okay, and I got to lock in and I know what I need to beat here. And they said it's either you do it or you don't. And they said he ended up pulling away with it. What was it, 24-23, and moves on to the final round. We got one more Final Four matchup here.
So, Jeremy, before we get to that one Final Four matchup, we have a little bit of time before we get to Mike McGuire, who's warming up right now. Tell me a little bit about, or tell us, I should say, a little bit about Fadeaway Fitness and your Instagram and social handles.
Yeah, so Fadeaway Fitness, I started February 2017. 30 kids maybe, just as individual group training, camps, clinics, and it just started to snowball a little bit. And I'm from the Wheeling, West Virginia area. I run out of a facility in Fairpoint, St. Clairsville, Ohio, but I started it all in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So that kind of gave me a little bit of a tri-state market. And then social media started. So as I started posting on social media, really just started posting my in-workout content, and people liked it, and they started to kind of catch on with it. And I think with anything you do social media wise, it's consistency. So over a period of time, it naturally grew, and within the last I would say 3 months, it just blew up a little bit. So especially my Instagram at Fadeaway Fit, my TikTok really took off. And like I said, it's been cool to use my platform almost to grow my company, but also to grow this event as well. So really excited to kind of watch how my progression with the 3-point open builds as well. So get into back to the competition here.
Mike McGuire, his progression is building right here. He solid 4 on the first rack, gets the money ball, 10 through the first 2 racks as he heads into the top of the key.
Sure, got 40 seconds to go. Said it looks like he's once again locked in. Like I said, I love his shooting form, how he snaps his right arm and keeps everything in a really solid shooting release. Said onto his money ball rack, 28 seconds to go here right now with a score of 17. And like I said, he's locked in. He's really trying to find his groove here. 21, there's 23.
Gets that. This could be a monster number right here.
Got 12 seconds to go. Still plenty of time. 27. Get this one. 29.
29.
Really solid here.
I thought we were going to see the 30. I thought we were going to see the 30 going to that rack, and you hear the round of applause in the background. But Mike McGuire going up against one of the favorites in this competition. He knew he had to put up a big number. He did put up a big number. 29. Shanna standing by with him.
Mike, this is a tough matchup, but that, I believe, is the highest point total posted in the Sweet 16. How are you feeling after that?
Well, put the work in, so just trust the work, and hopefully he's a great shooter too, so see what happens.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike.
He's understated. He doesn't got much time for us. He just wants to get over there, watch, get a ball in his hand in case he has to go back out there. You kind of got to, if you go first, you kind of got to prep for OT.
Yeah, just in case. Like I said, I don't want to go stand and watch and cross my arms and okay, get cold or stiff. Got to keep yourself moving. Got to keep yourself loose. And like I said, if he moves on, got to stay locked in here, and he's still got one more round to shoot. Like I said, anything can happen in this Final Four matchup between him and Jordan Reaver here.
Yep, Jordan Reaver, the Minneapolis native, played at Minnesota State and Moorhead State, Division II All-American for the 2014-15 season. Goes around, comparing and contrasting his style to Anthony Miracola, who is already through to the finals. Miracola just stays at the top of the key to warm up. Jordan Reaver hits every single rack to go through in his 3 minutes.
Yeah, just to keep yourself loose, but also get your different angles at and trying to catch your little groove, find your niche, and then get yourself locked in, ready to go, and then try to start off strong on your first rack. So Jordan's been one of the leading shooters this whole weekend here. He's posting mid to high 20s every single rack. So let's see if he can get off to a strong start and propel him into the final 2 shooting.
Here we go. Needs a big number, 29. And he has to do it all with the cameraman right behind him.
First 2 of 3, 3 of 4. Make that one. Needed a money ball. Get hot here now.
I feel like that money ball on the first rack kind of sets the mental tone for the rest.
He's got 7, finishing through 2 racks onto the money ball rack now, top of key. Still plenty of time, 37 seconds here.
Needs to be basically flawless and struggling with the money ball.
Stay locked in, just finish here strong, post a really good score. So we talked about it the whole day. A lot of these shooters, their form is consistent the entire time. So every time Jordan releases the shot, it's really, really pure. Got 16 on the final rack here, 10 seconds remaining. Might come up just a little bit short, but has posted phenomenal numbers this entire weekend, and definitely nothing to not be proud about. So really, really solid weekend, really, really solid round for Jordan Reaver here.
21 for Jordan Reaver. That's after he's gone 25, 28, 28 today. Probably a little, we'll say that's not up to his standards, but heck of a run into the Final Four. He's standing by with Shanna.
Jordan, Andrew just said it, a heck of a run into the Final Four. How do you feel overall about your performance the past 2 days?
Oh, great. Looking at the scores, I like to consider myself one of the most consistent shooters. That's probably my lowest score of the weekend. It is what it is. I mean, it's all like a bunch of good shooters, and I mean, he shot 29, 23 last round. It's a lot of luck will play a part of this. So, but it's a great event. Had a lot of fun, met a lot of great people, so enjoyed my time for sure.
That's awesome. We appreciate you coming out. Thanks, Jordan.
Absolutely tremendous attitude right there. And hey, he's right. He's one of the #1 seeds. He lit it up yesterday. He lit it up earlier today in multiple rounds, putting 28 up. He needed to do just 1 point better, which he could have because he had the other ones wrapped up and it kind of took his foot off the gas in earlier rounds. But hey, great teams, great shooters sometimes have an off round, have an off day.
Yeah, so they said phenomenal weekend for Jordan, for all these shooters really, and they said it's just been fun watching this thing grow and build up to this moment right now. So to the final 2, and they said for one person to leave with 100K is pretty really remarkable here.
For shooting a basketball over the July 4th weekend, little independence of the checking account, I guess you could say, gets added.
Right. So that wouldn't be nothing to sneeze at if I could leave 100K richer.
Gotcha. We're going to wait for Jordan Wortman to come over here. He's the man behind all this. We'll call him the CEO of 3 Point Open. He's right now talking to Jordan Reaver, probably getting the thoughts and things like that. Building this brand up for next year. And he's done a great job here. And it's just been a tremendous day. Tremendous 2 days. We started with over 112 shooters, and now we're down to our final 2. You saw that shot just a little bit ago as Anthony Miracola is going to take on Mike McGuire in the final. So, folks, if we had a camera that was on us right now, it would have been one of the more funny things that you would have seen. As we bring in the CEO of the 3 Point Open, Jordan Wortman. And Jordan, you look good with the hat. I got to tell you, little Carl Spackler right there.
Everyone's asking about the hat all weekend.
What's the secret behind the hat? Why red today?
Zach Sheets gave me the hat yesterday, actually Friday, and I just threw it on. Wanted to stand out. I'm a professional every single day in my day job, so let's just have some fun this weekend.
And we are having a ton of fun. This is a great event here at Spooky Nook in Manheim, Pennsylvania. 3 Point Open, $100,000 for shooting a basketball. You're a heck of a basketball player. Your brothers were heck of basketball players. Your dad, he's a wrestler, things like that. Where was the inspiration to get this event and say, why this year? Why now?
I can't take credit for the idea. Corey Gardner, co-founder, it was his idea. He contacted me about it, and I wanted to get in right away. Love basketball, love the three-point shot. No one has to play defense here and run around. They could just stand outside and shoot. And so, first year, we learned a lot, and we're excited to be here, and hopefully this grows every single year.
Based on the reaction and based on what some of the guys and social media influencers, Dan Britton from the International Shooter Federation has said, I see this getting very big. And the only help side you have here, not defense like you mentioned, is just on the rebounders. So I mean that's always cool. What has it been like for you to have like all these guys with like, you know, Bjorn Broman, you know, 500,000 social media influencers? He's out here and just talking good things. He just got knocked out, you know, and stuff. And it's like, hey, whatever. You know, a lot of guys, professionals, multiple years playing professional basketball.
That's been the best part for me, is to see all the guys come and women come into Spooky Nook this weekend. Bjorn, Jeremy Hayes, all these people, Jordan Reaver, great shooters, you know, professional shooters, and everyone came in here this weekend. That's been the best part, just to see new friends, new faces, and they'll be back next year for sure.
And it's the first year. You've been working on this how long? 6, 8, 10 months?
It's almost been a year. I think August is when Corey and I first started talking about this. So it's coming up on a year, and a lot of work, a lot of planning, and shout out to all our helpers. You know, that's why we wanted to do this in Spooky Nook and not somewhere else. We have all our friends and family around us helping us out, and really made things move great the entire weekend. So we couldn't have done it without them.
The Spooky Nook facility, great facility. Whatever you want to do here, whether it was the home of the Team USA field hockey on the national program. They've gone to warmer climates. You know, it is an outdoor sport, but I mean, tremendous facilities here, from turf fields in a bubble. Then you have 30-some courts. It's packed with AAU basketball. D1 coaches are in here left and right. Just a great facility to hold the event in here. For you, how have you seen it gone? From the guy that had so much pressure on, make sure this went off flawless. How have you seen it, and grade yourself, because I'm giving you an A for everything, how this has gone. It's exceeded our expectations, definitely. We had no idea what to expect, but things have gone smooth, and so I'll grade it an A. We could always do a little bit better. But Andrew, I want to thank you for coming here and doing this. I called you right, and you picked up the phone and said, I'm there right away, and that means a lot to us and the 3 Point Open. Really appreciate you doing this for us. Well, I've played in enough of golf scrambles with you and your brother that we're pretty good friends. So of course I'm always going to pick up on that. That's right. Finals are going to start at 5:25. Just going to check the time here. That's 5 minutes. 5 minutes. We could go right through that. We could filibuster 5 minutes with the good stuff. Where do you see this going? And when are you going to start working on this for next year? Because a couple of guys, Bjorn being one of them, Jordan being one of them, and Jeremy, the great social media influencers, just about building this out. Yeah. And it's 100 shooters this year. Do you have a goal possibly off the top of your head? I know I'm putting you on the spot right here. No, the goal is to grow every year. We want to get better. We want to make this a better event next year. And if that means more shooters, great. You know, I guess one goal would be to have an invite-only event where we have enough backing with some sponsors and that sort of thing to get an invite-only event. If that's 128 shooters, and then we cut down in the weekend. We have a lot of ideas, but you know, I'm not sure where it's going to go. But next year, if we grow, we bring more shooters in. That's the main goal. Awesome. Who came up with the logo? The logo is pretty cool. Shout out Andrew Lupo, our buddy in Philadelphia. He came up with the logo, and we love it. A lot of people love it, and yeah, great artist. It's pretty good. That's the thing you see all the time, and I feel like right now this event kind of starting with the age of social media, it's capitalizing on that. But also we talk about, you know, has Steph Curry changed the game of basketball? In a way, you know, I know when we were younger, we'd go out and we weren't shooting layups, we were just chucking threes up, but now everybody's pushing the boundaries farther because of what Reggie Miller did before Steph Curry and what Ray Allen did before Steph, and he's just taking it to another planet. And now it seems like, okay, there's going to be so many great shooters, let's do it. When you see people on a fast break start running to the three-point line, you know the game has changed. And Steph has a lot to do with that, but there's a lot of great shooters before him. But you hit it on the head. The game has changed. It's become more of a perimeter game, and which is great for us. We want everyone to come out here that wants to shoot the ball. Hey, you don't have to play full court defense here. You don't have to take a charge. Get outside and shoot some threes. That's all you got to do. And we bring up Steph, and you talk about him going to the thing, you know, the Splash Brothers out there. You know, you've had shooters here that have actually beaten Klay Thompson, you know, in a social media competition online. Right. I mean, that's the type of quality guys that we got here. And Klay Thompson, a decent basketball player, I've been told. Klay's got one of the prettiest strokes. But yeah, Jordan Boyd, I think he beat Klay Thompson in a three-point competition. He got knocked out a little sooner than he wanted to, but he'll be back next year, he told me. And yeah, man, it's been a great weekend.
been a great weekend, exceeded our expectations, and we're looking forward to next year.
All right, man. Well, hey, we're going to talk to you after you get done presenting the
Awesome.
check and doing everything. We're going to bring Jeremy Hayes back in here. The court is all set. You can see the basketballs out there. We got one rebounder practicing, making sure everything goes smooth. But it has been a phenomenal day so far here at Spooky Nook for the inaugural 3-point open, high-stakes 3-point shooting competition for $100,000 from over 110 shooters. Was narrowed down to 64 to today. A couple morning sessions got it narrowed down to 16, and through 2 afternoon sessions, we are down to the final 2, where it's Anthony Miracola and Mike McGuire from some of these professional shooters and everything. We have Anthony Miracola and Mike McGuire. Miracola, 38-year-old dad of a 3-year-old from Michigan. He's been practicing for about 3 weeks. He's always been a good shooter. Give his high school a shout out in Whiteford, Michigan. Loves b-ball, said I could shoot the rock. Why not come and do it? And now he's shooting for $100,000 along with Mike McGuire from Garden City, New York. Played basketball at Western New England University, Chaminade High School. His brother played at Sacred Heart, and he's been prepping for a while.
Yeah, I said at the end of the day, it's like shooters are going to shoot. If you can shoot, you got a chance to win. And like these guys have put the time in, preparation, trust what your skills are, and try to make the most of it. Now, the final 2. So let's see what we can pull in here.
There's the final 2. We'll tune in to Ty Wortman, our masters of ceremony here today, doing the introductions. Miracola is a 3 seed, by the way, and actually 2 3 seeds in this final bracket. And Miracola actually the higher. I guess they are crack determining RPI team here.
Right, just said Anthony's going to determine to shoot first, try to set the bar high, and then Mike McGuire will go second.
That's been his MO this entire tournament.
Right. So it's down to crunch time now. So we started. I know the crew got here Friday, set everything up, run Saturday. Now we're into Sunday. Final day, final shootout. So it's kind of what the whole event's been about. And I mean, not to put any more pressure, but winner takes 100K, loser, sorry.
It's kind of been a fun atmosphere. We've had
sure.
a lot of fun guys. I see Bjorn Broman over there. He's been doing the Instagram videos and things like that for his social media brand. But I got to tell you, something has come over this place in the last couple minutes that it's a little bit tension, and it's not because they turned the air conditioning on that the hair is standing up on my arm.
Right, for sure. And so you can feel the tension in the air. They said it's that big check is standing directly behind them, and winner take all right now. So Anthony getting ready once again, leading at the top of the key, getting his shot preparation in, locking in, and one more round for the rest, both of these guys.
And no change to his shot preparation.
Right.
Every single time we've talked about it through these last couple rounds, he only preps at the money ball rack where he places at the top of the key.
Right. So here we go. Getting ready to get locked in. Head over to rack number 1. They said, got to start off strong. If you can start off strong, and like we talked about earlier, hit that money ball, that first money ball, that leads you into rack number 2, and then do his money ball rack. So they said if he can get off to a strong start, I look for him to post once again another high score like he did all weekend.
Get in the groove, feel the flow. $100,000 on the line, 70 seconds. We're about to go.
Right, here we go, rack number 1. Same groove, off to a good start. See the first couple go in. Nothing has changed. Once again, same shooting form and consistency the entire time. Perfect through the first rack. Perfect rack.
Talk about setting the tone.
Yep. Still hot. Perfect 12 through the first 2 racks onto his money ball rack at the top of key. It's the first one. Get locked in. Stay in the zone here. That's 16, 30 seconds to go.
Didn't let that miss bother him.
No.
Just one, got right back on.
Right back to the next one. So we're at 25 seconds, score 21, final 2 racks, plenty of time. Get these off. Stay locked in.
He heads over to the final rack with 15 seconds.
Right, 26. Posts a phenomenal score here.
There's 28. 29, money ball for 31.
31.
Did it.
That's
First
a huge
30-point round as you hear the applause. A tremendous job he's spent. I don't know if that's mental. I don't know if that's physical. Shanna, 31 points from Anthony Miracola, the 38-year-old dad from Michigan.
Anthony, that's our first 30-point round in the Sweet 16 in these final single head competitions. This has really been a family affair. Your wife's been rebounding for you. You've been practicing with your son. You started practicing 3 weeks ago. What's going through your head as you know those point totals are creeping up?
Just happy that I shot a good round, and I know that it's far from over because, like I said, once you got down to this today, everybody's really good shooters. Everybody's capable. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. While I'm happy that I got what I got, he's still got to shoot, and I'm just going to hope for the best like I've been. I'm just glad I shot pretty good, though, you know.
Official score 31, $100,000 on the line. Anthony, I got to ask, are you going to Disney World?
I don't know. I'll tell you in a little bit what I'm going to do if I can hold him off, you know.
I like it. I like it. Don't put it out there yet.
Yeah, I don't want to get ahead of myself because I know he's obviously fully capable. So I just want to relax and hope for the best.
Thanks, Anthony.
We have 2 minutes. Thank you, Shanna. 2 minutes until Mike McGuire goes. And McGuire, he could put up big numbers, put up 29. And you talk about how tough it is to win one of these tournaments. Miracola shot 24 and skated by Jay Jamison in the last round. He shot 28 in the round before that to get by Al Kaleas. Before that, he went up against Ryan Daly in the Sweet 16 round. I have to look at these notes. 26 he shot, and then in double overtime, 25-29 for a total of 80, and he won by 2 over Ryan Daly, who's an A10 player of the year.
Yeah, crazy. And honestly, we'll go back to his last round. Perfect through his first 2 racks, get to his money ball racks, misses 1. And then when he did that, he got refocused, relocked back in, and finished his rack strong. And they said finished the rest of his round here strong, and with the final score 31, which is very, very impressive. So we'll see how Mike McGuire does on his final rack of the day, and see who can come out on top here.
We haven't had a round in the 30s since the Sweet 16 when Mo Creek did it. Mike McGuire, he needs to do it to keep this alive. He needs 31, and he's capable of 29 in the semifinals.
Right. Off to a phenomenal start so far. First 3 for 3. 4. Made all 5 to get to 6 points on to rack number 2.
They match each other on rack 1.
Couple misses, refocus yourself, get locked back in. Needs that one, good. Got 8, 44 seconds to go, top of the key.
Needs 4 out of 5 here.
Shot money ball here.
Got
good.
it.
32
shot.
seconds to go, money ball rack now, 14 points. Good shot. Go finish strong, 20. That goes to 22, 20 seconds to go.
4 out of 5 on the money ball rack.
Last couple, last one. 7 seconds to go, a little sidestep. And he finishes with a score of 24. Phenomenal shooter there, Mike McGuire.
Phenomenal run, phenomenal round. It's got to be disappointing for Mike to come this close, but what a tremendous run. Mike McGuire all the way into the finals in the inaugural 3-point open. He's standing by with Shanna.
Mike, not the result you were hoping for, but what a run for you to get to the finals with a shot at $100,000. How are you feeling about your overall 2-day performance?
Okay, I know I put the work in, and I shoot with Jay Camus over there, best shooter in the world, so I'm preparing with the best shooters every day, so I'm not surprised he hit 31. That's what Jay hits all the time. He hits 33, 34, so, you know, he's a really good shooter, both of them, so, but it was a great tournament and a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Crowd applause for Mike, everybody.
We just shot basketballs over 2 days to have a to give out $100,000 for basketball. Thanks, man. Mike McGuire, Gracious Sport comes in second over this 2-day event. This is just an unbelievable event. Anthony Miracola overcome with emotion, standing next to his wife, that we just gave out $100,000 for shooting three-point basketball. So we're going to take a quick break here, and then we're going to come back. We're going to speak to the winner as they give out the congratulatory hugs, high fives, and everything. And we will be presenting a $100,000 check to that man right there, Anthony Miracola. Don't go anywhere. We're going to hear from him in just a bit. Welcome back to the 3-Point Open. You're looking live at a $100,000 victor for the inaugural 3-Point Open high-stakes three-point shooting competition held here at Spooky Nook Sports Complex in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The paper check is going on out there. Anthony Miracola is your champion after shooting rounds in this bracket of 64 today. He shot a round of 31 in the final to win. Shot 24 in the semis, 28. Also then shot a round of 80 in the Sweet 16 to move on. That was double overtime. 27. Jeremy, you know what type of shooter he could be. He got hot at the right time, and he is standing. Shanna is standing by with Anthony and 3-Point Open brass. Jordan Wortman there in the red hat.
Thanks, Andrew. We've got Jordan and Corey here, co-founders of the 3-Point Open and our inaugural champion, but I'm going to hand it over to Jordan.
Anthony, on behalf of Corey, myself, the rest of 3-Point Open, we want to say congratulations, our inaugural 3-Point Open champion. An impressive fashion, 31 points in the final round is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And you got through 2 overtimes against a great competitor in Ryan Daly early on. What's going through your mind right now?
It's hard to explain. It's just I just almost in disbelief. I mean, I knew I was fully capable. That's why I got in it, but I didn't want to take anything for granted. I mean, I was, I found out about the thing kind of late, and it's hard to believe. I mean, like I said, I knew I was capable, but there's so many good shooters. I mean, not just the guys I faced. There were just like everybody that made it to today. It was here for a reason. I don't even know what to say. It's just hard to put into words because I know that it wasn't necessarily the best shooter that was going to win this because of single elimination, but I knew it was going to be one of the best shooters, but it's just anything can happen. Right? Single elimination, it's just a long couple of days, just the physical and mental part of it. I can't explain. I'm sure a lot of the guys that got down to this end part can relate to what I'm saying, that it's just a lot to channel. And and I'm sure just like anybody else that was left towards the end, a lot of effort I'm sure was put in, through the course of their lives to get to the point where you're good enough to compete with people like this. And I'm just real grateful. I'm real thankful. I don't take this for granted whatsoever. I've put in so much time and effort shooting that I can't even explain to you guys. It just feels like it's kind of coming to fruition as we speak. It's hard to explain,
What went into the decision to go first in that final round? You had the choice, didn't you?
Yeah, I just kind of, I don't know. I was kind of torn on it, like going into today when my wife and I were talking about it. on whether I should go first or second, and I just said, I'll just go first and just whatever. And I don't know. I don't even know why I did, and I just kind of said I'll just stick with it today if I get that choice.
The question that's on everyone's mind: any plans for the 100,000? Going to Disney World? What are you doing?
My wife and I talked about it a little bit before, but like I said, I don't like getting ahead of myself, even when I got that 31, because I knew that, again, anybody that was shooting today was fully capable, unless you got a 34, and even then, I could see somebody tying you. Like when I went through that tie thing earlier. I mean, they weren't like bad rounds I was shooting. He was just shooting really good too. And I mean, so we had just kind of chatted, about putting some money towards, kind of breaking it up, maybe fixing some things around our house, maybe a vehicle, just saving some. We're big on investing our money and saving it. And then there was another thing, maybe just spending a little bit, like maybe doing a trip or something, or it's just like I said, we briefly talked about it, but I don't like getting ahead of myself, and it's hard to explain because I've achieved so much in basketball throughout my life. Like I said, I don't know what you guys know about me, but this is just a whole nother animal because I've won so many things, but this was like a gathering of some of the top premium shooters, and I know it was. I was watching the stuff you were putting up, and like I said, I knew I could do it, but the fact that I've did it is just, it's hard to wrap my mind.
Out of all the premium shooters you just talked about, you're the last one standing, my friend, and we're so happy. We're excited for you. Corey, anything else you'd like to add?
I'm good.
Good. Congratulations, Anthony. 31 points in the final round.
Appreciate everything, you doing this. Everybody rebounded, everybody who helped, my wife especially. But I mean, my family, I had people that were helping me down the stretch here just to get prepared for this. And, you putting this on, and I hope it keeps going. And I just, everybody was nice. Everybody was helpful. I mean, I just thank you for everything.
We appreciate that. Congratulations, Anthony. Congratulations. Give it up, everybody.
3-Point Open CEO Jordan Wortman conducting the interview right there with our champion. And Jeremy, again, you see the emotion on his face. Just a tremendous day here all around. The inaugural, can't say that enough. The inaugural time. This is only going to get bigger. It's going to get better. We heard earlier Dan Britton say it's a sport. We need to grow this and things like that. Your impressions overall now that this whole thing is done?
Phenomenal. From the first time that Jordan reached out to me on social media to watching it come to fruition to day one to Anthony receiving the check. I think it's just been remarkable how fast it's grown, but I think how fast it's going to get now. Now that he's been presented a check, now that everything is legit, it happened in year one. Now how can we make this bigger for year two? So really, really happy for just the event and just like I said, the people that helped put this on, but also for the game of basketball, because I think it's only going to help evolve the sport even more.
People have gone from skepticism on random social media messages to now believers in this and growing this. And Anthony doesn't become a champion with somebody believing in him. His wife believed in him. She's as much a part of this as anybody. And all the shooters, wives, girlfriends that have been here. Shanna is standing by with Jennifer, Anthony's wife.
Andrew, you're exactly right. I've seen this girl rebounding for 2 days straight. She's put in the work, and you look good doing it too. I'll tell you what, former athlete, I can tell. You've seen Anthony prepare for this. He's shooting with your son. I mean, what does this feel like for you to watch him find the success and just talk about the preparation as a family unit that you've put in?
I mean, it's amazing. It's been a heck of a ride. I mean, he didn't have a lot of time to prepare because we didn't find out until just a couple weeks ago, but he's kind of been preparing for stuff like this his whole life, and then he just really tried to grind it out these last 3 weeks, and it's just amazing because I know what he's capable of, and it's nice to see him follow through with it.
I have to ask, was your son watching at home today?
Our son's only 3, so I'm not sure he understands what's going on, really.
But he's going to know Daddy won.
Yes, he will.
Very cool. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
All right, awesome stuff right there. Just a tremendous event, and the sport of basketball grew today.
Yeah.
It grew this weekend because, yes, we all know about the WNBA, the NBA Finals, All-Star games, things like that, the basketball tournament. But this is another outlet for people who might think, maybe competing in basketball, I can't do it. You don't got to run. There's no defense, as Jordan said earlier.
For sure.
If you could shoot the rock, average guys, they could win this $100,000.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, there's dunk contests, tournaments, leagues all the time, but there's not enough shooting competitions. And like I said, shooting, if you want my personal bias, I'm a skill developer. I think shooting is the #1 skill in basketball right now. If you can shoot the ball, you can play. You can play defense, you can play. They said, and I think today, showing these guys can shoot at a very, very high rate, they said that it's pretty remarkable what these guys can do.
All right, so we are about wrapped up here. The smiles are being taken, or the pictures are being taken of all the smiles. Anthony is standing off here to our left with the big smile as his wife Jennifer comes over. For everyone on the production team, for Jordan Wortman and all of the 3-Point Open, this is Jeremy Hayes. Follow him on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Get your skills developed. Bjorn Broman, all the guys here. Follow those social media guys. Help grow the sport. Participate in this next year. We're going to be back next year. I'm Andrew Kalista. Have a happy 4th of July, everyone. We'll see you next year.